during the Golden Opportunity Sales Event. They are proudly celebrating 35 years in business. Over 300 new and L-certified pre-owned Lexus to choose from, and the all-new GX has arrived. Being veteran-owned, family-operated, and a 6-time J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence winner, Lexus of Cherry Hill provides luxury customer service. So go talk to Tony and his team to set yourself up with some of the best deals of the year. Visit LexusofCherryHill.com.
For J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence information, visit jdpower.com/US-DOE.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. The big day is here. Copycat, commie. How many Ks can we put in here? Kamala.
Oh, plagiarism?
Yes, will be. Well,
No,
she
it's not
plagiarized Trump's no tax on tips. She plagiarized J.D. Vance and all that child credit, double it, triple it. But she is very reminiscent. The best analysis I've seen today on this is what she's doing with these price controls and also $25,000 for first-time home buyers. Dan, you should have waited. Federal government will put in there $25,000. So what do you think they're going to be doing with this? They're going to, just like college, they're going to continue to up the price because they know the government's going to continue to add more money, so they keep on jacking it up. So this is amazing. Her first policy decision, her first policy agenda, a lot of it's copied, and a lot of it is even more over the top than we had any right to expect. The broad question is this. As much as we resist it, there's really 2 questions. Can Republicans do an effective enough job of showing if this is actually done, these price control? Can you imagine? The price control could be some guy in Washington tells a Wawa up on Cotman Avenue, yo, that's too much for that. Cut that back. They got a little speaker in there. Please cut that back. That product is... How far would you go? What are the lines? What are the thresholds? Nobody knows. But here's what the problem is. Are there enough dopey Americans out there due to the dopey education system called the public schools? Are they economically illiterate enough? And if they're far left enough, by definition, they believe in this, to believe that that's what will happen. Now, we're not going to turn into Venezuela overnight with this, but what it does is it leads to shortages. Nobody can figure out what the price should be at any one point. It's called competition. It's called a million variables, and that's how we have abundance. And up until these last number of years, relatively decent food prices. I mean, just to give you an idea of how this show works, Dan sent me home with home reading last night. 42 pages of small print defending Taylor Swift and attacking Ticketmaster. And
you don't pull down the Swifties, Dom, without having some kind of evidence to back it. You got to have that going.
So I don't know that she's going to talk about Ticketmaster today. That would be an interesting thing to say, we got to do something about this, ball games, Ticketmaster, concerts, etc. She's actually going to talk about the grocery store. I thought avoidance would be the best action. And what a day in America where a genius, just an outright genius, who's never held a job other than say, My name's Bob Casey. Junior put me in office.
It's a very sensual voice you had there.
Yes, he's a nice enough guy, but not really. When you see where he's going with things. Bob Casey today, all over national news, because he's the first one to blame corporate America, to blame Snickers bars and all of that. It's stunning, and that's where we will be today. Does she get away with it? Because here's the upside for Kamala Harris. She's addressing it. She's directly gone right down Broadway with this stuff. It looks aggressive. Does she get away with it? Because people can't connect this, and they start to believe that corporate America is really, particularly in the grocery stores. I look at several analyses today. The big grocery chains and grocery smaller too, their price profit point is about 1.2% to 1.3. Most corporations that are effective, most businesses, it's around 8.5. So in what universe does Bob Casey Jr. get away with telling us they have record profits here? Big avocados killing us. How does he get away with that? Because he doesn't go anywhere where he's challenged. Now, I wouldn't overstate it, as I said, to say I looked at a great piece today on Venezuela. What's it like in Venezuela? They follow this mother who she's only able to go and shop on Mondays. You're only allowed to go to the stores run by the state, price controls, on Mondays. She has to leave 2 kids at home. She takes a 6-month-old with her. The husband has to take off from his job to protect her from gangs who will jump you around the supermarkets. They go in, there's no meat. They get some sardines for the week. Now, I don't think we're going to get there overnight with Kamala Harris.
Sardines aren't too bad.
There you go. But this sort of approach, I mean, the Washington Post had an editorialist today that wrote, the Federal Trade Commission could be telling a Kroger store in Ohio how much they should charge for milk that day. And yet these pointy heads in Washington, I think some of them actually believe they know better. They would be able to. Can you imagine the decisions we made? Dan's decision yesterday to buy Dunkin' Donuts. The price was right. I think he thinks he had offended someone here. I'm not even exactly sure how.
Not offending anybody. It's just
just being a nice
Olive
guy.
Branch.
And then Olive Branch. Yeah, and then what donuts to get and the price point. Should I do that? Do I have enough money for lunch? They're going to be able to figure that in Washington.
You know, I was trying to choose between Munchkins and a dozen normal donuts. Munchkins were like 8 something for just a little pack of Munchkins. What the heck's going on?
Oh, throw that.
I was like, I'm going to get the real donuts. $14 for a dozen? Are you kidding me?
And Harris has the Washington Post thinks this is relatable. She has a fundraising appeal in which she's poised with a giant bag of Doritos because when Trump was elected, she sat there and ate, allegedly, I don't believe it, the whole bag of Doritos to get out of her misery.
Oh, yeah?
We don't want to go back to that.
Oh.
So.
You like Doritos?
No. I would just tell you, imagine post-election day. You got to think about that. That motivates me at times when you're tired and whatever and saying, oh, my God. Just imagine hearing this. For me, it would even Tim Walz. I can't take 4 years of Tim Walz. By the way, Dan and I will tell you, we'll talk about it. He thinks he's, Dan, let's play that.
Yeah,
we have that spot. Yeah, we'll play this spot. Then I want to play, you really are going to have to concentrate because he's such a genius economically, Bob Casey Jr., who's never held a job in his life other than the father's coattails. And apparently there's still enough people out there. Casey, is it Casey running?
Oh.
Where do I vote? This maniac who's worried about 95-year-old farmers who can't get to drop boxes. That Bob Casey Jr. All right, here's Walz. Now, I think the way to deal with this is not to go nuts and say this guy's like a white minstrel show. He's being like the white clown so that Kamala Harris can play off this. But there is something a little bit off-putting with this guy. Dan, I have some information on it, and I know you think it's relatable. He lied about this, too. He apparently won a taco contest with some special seasoning.
Oh, man, so he doesn't eat white people tacos.
No, he does not eat white people tacos.
Oh, man, he's a liar.
He's a liar about tacos.
What a horrible person.
Yeah. So here's the relatable ad of the shill, Walls, dancing around so that Kamala Harris can know something more than he does about tacos.
Like I have white guy tacos and
What does
like
that
black,
mean? Like mayonnaise and tuna? What are you doing?
pretty much ground beef and cheese.
That's
and,
okay. Do you put any flavor in it?
No.
Oh, God.
Here's the deal. No, they said to be careful and let her know this, that black pepper is the top of the spice level in Minnesota, you know.
I'm the first vice president, I believe, who has ever grown chili peppers.
I'm trying to expand
We'll
my
figure that.
my food knowledge.
You know what? We've got some cantaloupes. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, man, nice scripting there. That's relatable, Dan. They probably spent years scripting that one.
You think
Okay.
so?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I got to interview this guy up close and personal to see how relatable he is. He just seems very calculated in his folksy.
It's a strategy that might, like, living in Indiana, Dom, when we got buffalo wings, mild sauce was too spicy for a lot of those people. So, I mean, maybe it works. You know, maybe it's like, oh, this guy relates. He's like me. He likes mayonnaise.
Oh, man.
He's a fat guy that likes, you know.
Okay.
Remember that? They tried, yeah. Oh, surprise, Tim Waltz like greasy foods. Oh.
Yeah, the casserole, the tater tot casserole. Oh, my God.
What?
We'll tell you coming up, too.
It's sad the only way they can relate to people is through food. They have no other way to relate.
Exactly. Where did Tim Waltz take his wife on the first date? What film was it? We'll tell you in a little bit. Dan and I had some fun
Definitely
with it
not
before the
relatable
show.
there, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a good choice,
Yeah,
given Mrs. Doubtfire was out there and a bunch of other things, but he said, no, it's got to be this. All right, here's Bob Casey Jr. Saying we have to give the federal government the power to control prices.
Well, it's really not at the grocery store level. This is at the corporate level, Willie. They've been making record profits. We've never seen the kind of profits in corporate America the last couple of years. And when they're doing that, they're bragging about increasing prices. So my point is that we should give the federal government the power to investigate just run-of-the-mill price gouging.
All right, he went on to say at one point, too, what do you have to worry about if you're not doing anything wrong? Oh, yeah, let's have Bob Casey Jr.'s whole family, who are somehow or another connected to all these government operations and land deals and all. Let's have them have the federal government investigate them around the clock. Let's see how what do you have to worry about? You know, people say that all the time when I go off on the surveillance camera. Hey, what do you have to worry about? Oh, yeah, let's just make our whole lives. No privacy zones. Here's a little bit more of Casey now, fleshing this out. Greedflation, shrinkflation, and price gouging.
Well, Willie, here are the facts in terms of corporate America. This is what we're talking about here. The big companies, the companies that are producing food and the companies that are manufacturing household items, that's where the price gouging has taken place. Look, between July of 20 and July of 22, corporate profits rose 75% in America. That's 5 times the rate of inflation.
Not true.
And we shouldn't just accept it and say there's nothing we can do about it. We should point it out, as I've done in a greedflation report, a shrinkflation report, recently a streamflation report.
Oh, the new one!
This as well. The junk fees.
Gotta go back.
Oh, the junk fees. They always want to go back to the junk
recently
fees.
Recently a streamflation report, streaming services doing this as well. The junk fees that the administration has worked on. So on a whole range of fronts, you've got corporate America, after getting the biggest corporate tax cut anyone can remember, jacking up their prices and just saying get used to it and bragging about it on shareholder calls. So we got to do 3 things. Go after them, and you use price gouging legislation to do that and to give the Federal Trade Commission power it does not have right now. And secondly, to roll back those big corporate tax breaks, because obviously they didn't need them. But I think the idea that we should just throw up our hands and say, well, that's capitalism is ridiculous. You've got, look, if a company has costs here and they offset it with prices, no one would dispute that or argue with that. But when they jack up their prices, hiding behind inflation or hiding behind the idea of the pandemic causing this, or supply chains, it's a lot of BS. We should go after them and investigate them. If they're not price gouging, they got nothing to worry about.
Oh, there you go. Nothing to worry about. We're going to investigate you and your whole family forever. Just amazing. This guy forever here just because his dad was the last good Democrat. It just never ends. He's not a rocket scientist. I think he's supposed to debate. I'm hardly wait for it to start with McCormick pretty soon here. But here's the big bet. Harris is betting we have more dopes in America who won't get this. Could she be right? Yeah, dopes. Yeah, I'm going to tell them it's corporate. I didn't do anything. I'm on your side. I'm fighting. I'm going to give you $25,000 to get into a new house. Remember September 2008 when the economy was teetering? And what did it? All the junk housing, people that should not have been given the ability to get into the home, all the stuff that went on with that. This is very similar to what she's going to be talking about today. But politically, she's calculating people will maybe agree with this, or at least they will say, I'm not sure what did it. So Republicans have to do a better job on this. They have to be all over this explicitly. Trump made an attempt at it yesterday. That's a start. It has to be relentless. This is socialism. This is Venezuela. Probably not going to get anywhere near there because America is so resilient, but this is where she's headed. That's what this is about today. All right, let me give you the side questions. Apropos, I think of Stevie Nicks and a lot of Steves that we did this week.
So many Steves.
So many Steves.
Yeah, we were supposed to have Steve Moore today, but he he's
going to fit the side question. Hit us with that all-time Steven, Stephen, Stevie, or Stevens as the last name. And you could go through history, real or fictional. There might be a famous one that you think stands out. I'll take Steve Jobs off. That's the one that occurred to me first.
Yeah.
How about you, Dan?
I was haunted in the early 2000s as a very strong Philadelphia Flyers fans by two Steves.
Okay.
First one, Steve Yzerman, great player for the Red Wings over there. Just would, in the late 90s, it seems every time the Flyers got something going, he would just crush our dreams. But even more so, another Stevens, defenseman of the New Jersey Devils, who seemed to give Eric Lindros a concussion every time he played him, Scott Stevens.
One was particularly... Yeah, they were rolling
coming across the line.
Yeah,
just decks him.
All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board. Jump on. So that's the side question today. What's the angle of attack here with Harris that gets the average person to realize what she's talking about today and where it goes? Politically, it's smart. It's betting that it looks like she's the champion, she's the prosecutor, she and Tim Walz, when really they're the source of the problem. Where have price controls ever worked? Richard Nixon tried it, and I just read a book, long one of Nixon. I'm fascinated how that guy became president, given some deficits. He was that brilliant, that dogged, but he did price controls. Miserable failure, only for a brief period of time. Where do they work? How would you possibly calculate that? Who would be doing that, determining what the price is on a daily basis? Just think about that. Just think of how nonsensical this is. But she's rolling now. She's riding high. They're joyful. The media all over this. But even the Washington Post says, hey, if you don't want to be called a commie, how about not doing price controls? Editorial today, even the Washington Post. All right, jump on board. It's going to be a great Friday with Dom and Dan. Talk Radio 1210.
Talk Radio 1210's huge Politics and Pints with Donald Trump Jr. is Thursday, September 12th. Be there as Dom Giordano talks to Donald Trump Jr. about the election, politics, and all things Trump. Thursday, September 12th at Scottish Rite Auditorium in Collingswood. Your tickets include a copy of Letters to Trump by former President Trump. A cash bar will be available. Get your tickets now at 1210WPHT.com.
For more expert appliance shopping advice, here's National Appliance Warehouse's own appliance guru.
Hello, let's talk premium. These are top-of-the-line appliances that dream kitchens are made of. If you're planning an investment like this in your home, where you buy is as important as what you buy. At National Appliance Warehouse, we're committed to delivering the superior buying experience you deserve. Our showroom features beautifully displayed premium appliances of every major brand, including highly sought-after Sub-Zero, Wolf, and Cove. Our team of gurus is well-versed at guiding you as you navigate the same appliances you'd find in the most magnificent homes and kitchens of cooking enthusiasts. And the National Appliance Warehouse team has the expertise to properly deliver and install your stunning new appliances.
Don't miss the Friends and Family Savings Event at National Appliance Warehouse. Purchase a qualifying Sub-Zero Wolf and Cove appliance package and choose 3 years of additional warranty or a rebate up to $2,500. Click nationalappliancewarehouse.com or visit their showroom in tax-free Wilmington today.
At Cherry Hill Volvo, we are offering the C40 lease for 36 months for under $500 to qualified buyers. This is a really fun Volvo to drive. We also have a huge selection of certified Volvos. And what about $15,000 off when leasing a 2024 XC90 hybrid? This is an incredibly fabulous Volvo. It's the Volvo I drive. Visit us here at Cherry Hill Volvo for the attention and respect you deserve.
This is Jordan Lundy of Lundy Law. When we say we hope you're never involved in an accident, we mean it. But if you are injured in an accident, we'll work quickly and tirelessly to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. And when we also say we only get paid when your case is over and you get paid, we mean it. Remember our name, Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Call 1-800-LUNDY-LAW or visit lundylaw.com.
Offer not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
We should do what my brother did. He went to getcash.com and got $3,000.
With our bad credit?
Getcash.com is different. They're one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope. My brother said it was fast and easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan of up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account as soon as the next day. Our lenders have millions of dollars to lend regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to getcash.com and we'll have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to getcash.com. That's getcash.com. Getcash.com.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, Dom Giordano show, and today we have a preliminary report on what happened when President Trump was shot, at least the post part of it. And if you think the Secret Service is bad, well, the FBI brought in to investigate and engage in that is just as bad. I mean, my God, they just have in their head they're going to do whatever they want. They're not going to be transparent. And what are we going to do about it? The only thing you can do is to take back the Senate, keep the House, take the presidency, and then go after them. And go after them every single day. And put people in there who get it, that they are there to be responsive to the people that are in authority, not to their own swamp delusions. So I'm talking about the fact that Andy Biggs, Congressman Biggs, who is on the committee to investigate what happened, how the shooter was able to get that close and fire away and hit President Trump, among others. And new details have surfaced. Clay Higgins is the guy. Biggs is under too, but Clay Higgins. He went there to investigate to the rooftop, to the field there. And in the 6-page report, preliminary, that he put out, what he found so far, first of all, he says that a Butler County SWAT operator from the ground about 100 yards away is the one that hit Crooks first, not the Secret Service. And he talked about how this guy moved heaven and earth and put himself at risk to get that shot off. But the FBI released the body of Crooks for cremation 10 days after the shooting, almost unannounced. And I think Higgins makes a good point. We would just have to go by the coroner and autopsy report. But who checks that? And look, I try to tamp down the conspiratorial thing, but I don't try to tamp down. You know what, buddy? You're not going to be playing these games with this and doing whatever you want. There has to be a backup of an we don't trust the FBI. We don't trust them, whatever their motivation is in any of this. Maybe more than the Secret Service. They also scrubbed down pretty quickly any biological evidence on the rooftop. Now, whether or not these things are standard procedure, again, what should be done at this point? Here's the bottom line to get to the bottom of this. With this Higgins preliminary report, bring in the head of the FBI, bring them all in right now, this week. Bring them in. Put them under oath. Go through this. Get them to put on the record of what they've done so far and why. On the record, under oath. If they won't answer, there's got to be some mechanism, some kind of repercussion here when they're not answering. All right? Whether it's in closed session or not. Get them on the record right now. What I'm saying to you is this Higgins report, I think, is enough to get another go-round. Now it's with the FBI and their investigation, why this is still fresh. You had something there, Dan.
No, I'm just curious. Like, what would be the reasoning why they would cremate the guy 10 days after the situation?
Yeah, well, that's unanswerable at this point, but this is the first I'm hearing about it. It should have been a national no. You don't do that. Well, we're the experts. We're the FBI. We're in charge. No, you're not. Congress is in charge of this. We got to say to them clearly, we don't trust you. Just say it to them. We don't trust you. Look at you. So I don't know why they think they would do it, Dan, other than that's what the family wanted or whatever. Well, guess what? Don't go around shooting a president of the United States and killing someone else. We don't care what you want at that point. We're going to keep that for as long as we want. And also, he makes the point that I was making. If you cremate it, if you do that, then all we have to go on, and that report's still not there from the coroner, the autopsy, we don't have anything independent. Well, you have the FBI's report. Sorry, we want backup on that. We want to see if there's any other opinion around this. Now, what would they have found about Crooks that's so important that we don't have to cremate him? I don't know. I don't know what we would have found about it, but it seems like an awful rush after all this to move forward. Again, the mission has to be to bring this under control. Now, Trump is the one that put Christopher Wray in there. That's a Chris Christie and the whole thing. He should have dumped him too. I don't know the reason why. This guy comes in, says nothing time after time after time. So now we have both the Secret Service and the FBI involved in this. You also have, as I said, the fact that it was a SWAT team from Butler that stopped this guy. And apparently he had to get in harm's way to do it where the shot was coming from. He got off 8 shots. The 9th shot is the one from the SWAT guy that hit him. Those are the real highlights here from Higgins. I don't see anything else in there, but it raises the question again. He went there on the scene. He's got some background. These are unanswerable questions again. We go round and round and round with these outfits. I know you see tedious. Bring them in again. Get them on the record. Do whatever you have to do to let the American people see that this is not over by a long shot. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. So I'm not saying this guy has a smoking gun here that says they did X, Y, or Z to cover something up or whatever it might be. But you would think, no, I wouldn't think it because they're arrogant. They think, what are you going to do to them? You would think, after all that's going on here, they would be very transparent about it. Transparent about it is not cremating the body. Why weren't we told? Why? Where was Congress? Don't they have to tell you, hey, we're going to release this body and cremate it? I didn't see it out there in the news. I didn't hear anybody talking about it. Well, we make that decision. You know what? No, you don't. You're under the authority of Congress here. Yeah, but these are day-to-day. You're really going to Yeah, we are. We don't trust you. There's too much stuff going on here. And if you want to stop conspiracy talk, then you're going to have to be transparent. If you're not, then we're going to continue to see this battle. All right, 855-839-1210. Hit us with a Stephen. What is the first date film? And if you have one that you went on, yeah, many people, I get why people, Ro and I didn't go on a first date to film, but it's good because you have something to talk about. You see, does the other person laugh
No,
at
it's a
certain
terrible
things?
first date, Tom.
Whoa,
Yes.
wait a minute
No,
here.
horrible.
Oh, I have to get Lou Gall
Guys,
back
the
on.
entire point of the first date is you want to get to know somebody. You don't want to sit next to them watching something and being silent the entire
It
time.
takes some of the pressure off, and you do get to know them by watching their reaction to the whole thing.
What, are you going to watch them watch the movie instead of watch the movie?
Well, no,
the entire time?
it's your reaction and their reaction, and then you have something to talk about. I think it takes a lot of stuff off. But Dan was so smooth on the first date. He didn't need a film. He's throwing it out for the rest
we
of
went to
us.
Applebee's and got half-priced appetizers.
Oh, well, there you go. We learned
split
something
the
on
bill,
that.
you know?
Jim said our third date was going to see a film. All right, I'm talking first date. That's where the most press. So what did Tim Walz? Now, at that point in time, Jurassic Park was pretty hot. So was Mrs. Doubtfire. That would have been a good choice. Tim Walz chose a film that I really like, or the two of them. Now, she might have been into this because, remember, the wife wanted to smell the burning tires when the riots went on. Falling Down with Michael Douglas.
Oh.
Did you take a look at it, Dan?
Yeah, I had no idea what this movie was until this morning when he told me about this, and it's definitely not the type of not the type of film you'd want to go on a first date, I don't think.
No, exactly. They'd be thinking it's Dan.
And it's funny, I didn't know the film, but I knew the one scene from the fast food restaurant.
Right. Oh, yeah, it's great.
Not very romantic, to say the least.
One of the first times Lou Gall was on, one of the first times, and Lou was on like 25 years, I guess, something like that, right? Guy calls in and says, oh, yeah, first date, Silence of the Lambs. I'm thinking, what the hell kind of maniac has seen Silence of the Lambs on the first date? Lou handled it with aplomb, but I was probing
That
the guy
makes
right
more
away.
sense than Falling Down. Like, Falling Down, it's a story about a father who's essentially, like, down on his luck, depressed, and opens fire in a fast food restaurant, right?
Well, he decides when his car stalls out in L.A., he's going to walk home across L.A., meaning to where the former wife is, and all the adventures that happen. He goes through gang country, and they tell him you can't
See,
walk
that's like
here.
going like American History X for a first date, where it's like, why are you bringing me here? Versus like, I think, like Silence of the Lambs, it's a horror movie, so you're sitting there with your arm around the girl, and she'll, get scared and kind of.
Oh, that's what it is.
But something like Falling Down, I can't imagine that's happening there. It's kind of like, why is this guy bringing me this movie?
Exactly. Now,
Jurassic Park.
I can't speak, Dan. We went to the place over in Lombard for dinner. What was the name of the place, too? It was very chic, different.
The one where the person sings to you?
No, that's a good first date. Victor's. I would be with that.
Yeah?
So you would not do the movie on a first date. Or the early dating thing. Okay.
Matters. I mean, in today's world with, Tinder and all, I guess you would have to. Do you really want to meet in a bar first time, meeting someone online? I don't know. I've never experienced it, so.
No, I
might be
can't
different
imagine
today.
that either.
Yeah.
All right, so you could come to the Don Jr. event as your first date. That would be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody to meet online. Yeah. Hey, you welcome to the Don Jr.? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that Tom Giordano. I'm glad we
Well,
came.
when they say yes, you know you have a winner, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it. Everything's done. All right. Scott knows what Roe was thinking. I'll have to. All right. So, oh, my God.
What would Rose say if you said let's do the Don
Here's a maniac, Dan. Here, let me go to Ron in Montgomeryville here for a moment. This is where he went on his first date. This is very Tim Walzian. All right, Ron, where did you go on the first date?
Hey, Tom, I'm going to preface this with, first off, I know you from South Philly, obviously.
Yes.
I'm an idiot. Trust me. First date, tour. Now listen.
Yeah.
Now listen. I've been married to my wife now for over 51 years, and it still comes up every once in a while when we're having dinner with friends or relatives, and somebody will just come out and say, "You're not going to believe what this guy did on his first date."
Oh my God!
All right, so it's a little bit excusable though. Did you see trailers going into it? Did you know that what it was about, the content?
No, I had no. My wife had no clue, and I had no clue. All we know was we were going to go somewhere to a movie, the closest one, and that happened to be playing.
Well, it worked out, Ron. I still think the movie on a first date is not a good idea. I differ with Dan on that. What do you say?
I agree with that. Let's have it. Let's have a dinner in a nice, quiet place like a good restaurant that's quiet. Yes.
All righty. Thank you, Ron. Yeah, dinner and a movie, Dan. You can't beat that. Oh, goodness.
How about a concert?
No, that's
too
can't,
loud.
You can't. Yeah, you can't talk at all. I think that's. But Tora on the first date.
What do you do for a living?
Yeah. 855-839-1210. By the way, I mentioned Don Jr. and good news to report. Just check out Talk Radio 1210's Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly Twitter. Special flash sale right now. That's on tickets to Politics and Pints with Don Jr. on Thursday, September 12th, Scottish Rite Auditorium, Collingswood, New Jersey. So it's you put in a promo code. It's a really nice sale, really nice discount, big one. Love to see you there. It's going to be a fabulous night. And yes, Ro will be there. You can ask her questions. Go on. I don't think Maisie will be there, but if we ever have a chance, what was she? Well, she knew you for quite a while through work. That's a little bit different. Yeah.
I mean, she also comes from a conservative background. So,
yeah. You could have seen.
She's not attending out of desire. She wants to be there. It's just her work schedule's pretty rough.
But you could. She could go to Tora. I'm sure she'd be pleased by it. Okay. My God, when it's got three letters, Tora, what do you think you're seeing?
Now, my question was going to be follow-up. If he had known the content of the film going into it, was it one of those things where you kind of want to come off as, smart or intelligent by going to like a film that's about a war and, you can talk about it and
I don't know about
that.
There's a great scene in The Graduate with Dustin Hoffman. He is only dating the woman, because of the family connection, wants to get out of there, wants her to be hated by her, takes her to a strip club on the first date. Now, there's a first date.
yeah, it's quite a first date.
That might be a good first date suggestion. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. So we got the Big Harris. She does it at 2:45 today. We'll be right in the middle of settling the side question of the day, but we may dip in for a moment just to hear the cackle, etc. Announcing her plan to say, I really am far, far left, but you're going to love it. I had nothing to do with inflation. I'm for you, and you're a dope, and you're going to vote for me. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board. It is a great film, way before its time. And that's Anne Bancroft, Dustin Hoffman. The woman was the hottie of the time and a really good actress, and I forget her name now.
It's crazy. That came out in 67?
67,
wow,
yeah. Way before its time. It was groundbreaking. Wow. And Hoffman was just... It also gave us that great movie quote, Plastics, if you've ever seen it. Mm-hmm. Got one word for you. What to go into when you get out of college. Plastics. All right.
What is it today?
What is what?
The plastics of today.
Oh, the plastics of today. Well, anything plastic. It meant, plastic world, people just pretending, that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying, if we're talking like an industry to get into.
Oh, that's, the industry to get into. Crypto, another industry.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take more calls coming up. We're going to talk with the guy who headed up several fast food national chains. Big fast food, remember the attacks that they were under? Why does fast food cost so much? Hey, I've told you for years about my friend, dentist and board-certified prosthodontist, Dr. Robert Bentz and the Bentz Dental Group. He's known for helping people overcome fear and anxiety. That could be an issue. In his state-of-the-art facility, it makes dentistry as easy as can be and as precise, convenient, comfortable for you. That's the goal, the entire goal. So I'm headed back. I was kidding him the other day. Within a week, Tuesday, I was there having a permanent tooth set up, and they're going to put the tooth in on Monday. Only 6 days. And I'm betting, puts it in once. How's that feel? Get out of here. None of that bite, chomp. You don't do that because it's that precise. Now, where else are you going to get that? You will get great dentistry with Dr. Bentz, the Bentz Dental Group. Find them at bentzdentalgroup.com. Call them for that appointment today, 610-272-6949, or visit bentzdentalgroup.com. Tell them Dom G sent you, 610-272-6949.
What if I told you your home movies are already past their prime? It's true. The magnetic tape used in VHS and camcorder tapes only lasts between 10 to 20 years, which means your baby's first steps, weddings, and family vacations are fading away as we speak. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box stops this fading process in its tracks. And by preserving your recordings, they're safe forever. Legacy Box is simply the best way to preserve your past, which is why they've been trusted by over 1 million families. Your memories are meant to be shared, not chewed up by the VCR or worn away with time. For a limited time, you can convert your tapes to digital for just $9 a tape. There's never been a better time to convert your entire collection. That includes film reels and photos too. Visit legacybox.com/value to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/value to unlock our $9 offer. legacybox.com/value.
Hi, Stephanie from Emmons. Are you not loving your bathroom? Is the King's Throne looking a little outdated and run down? Let Emmons Design Specialists design a bathroom that you will love and one that Emmons will redo in as little as 1 day. An affordable, maintenance-free bathroom with little to no inconvenience to you and your family. With finance options available, there's really only one problem. Your bathroom will be so nice, your king may never want to come out. Call Emmons today at 856-885-6677 or visit us on our website at callemmons.com.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
We have a man who's a warrior, a great military person. Dave McCormick is a 7th-generation Pennsylvanian who grew up in Bloomsburg, went to West Point, and earned a Bronze Star for his service in the First Gulf War. Dave went on to an outstanding career in business, and now he's fighting for the people of this Commonwealth, and he loves this Commonwealth.
Conservative Dave McCormick.
We need new leadership. We need a new president in the White House that's going to get our country back on track. We need a new majority in the Senate that's going to be able to take our country in the right direction.
Dave will vote to secure your borders, stand up to China, unleash incredible amounts of Pennsylvania energy, and he wants to stop Bidenflation. David McCormick, you have my total support and my total endorsement, and you got to win. Dave McCormick.
I'm Dave McCormick, and I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of Dave McCormick. www.davemccormickpa.com.
When you need to know, depend on KYW News Radio 103.9 FM.
Rescue crews pull a car out of the Schuylkill after it plunged into the water early this morning, but don't find a body inside of it. ABC News confirms Kamala Harris and Donald Trump will debate here in Philly at the Constitution Center, September 10th, 9 p.m. And Phillies rookie Weston Wilson hits for the cycle, the 10th in franchise history.
Get the latest anytime on KYW News Radio. Now on Crystal Clear 103.9 FM.
You've never needed us more.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Weather is sponsored by United Tire.
The forecast becomes unsettled for the weekend. Plenty of sunshine today, though, a bit more humid with a high near 90. Tonight becoming mostly cloudy, low 70. And for Saturday, mostly cloudy, humid, and cooler. Chance for some afternoon showers and storms with a high 84.
Stop by United Tire and say you want to trade in your tires and you'll get $100 off 4 new tires. And you'll get no-fault road hazard coverage for free. That includes free maintenance like rotations, flat repairs, and more. UnitedTire.com. Don't drive alone. Drive United.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. So, Dan, the world's ending with Kamala Harris today getting away with something big, but I'm being inundated. You know what people say? Walls, what a maniac, first date, but they're littering everything I can look at here with their first date because it proves something good about them. What do you think Guy Shiraki told me his first date was with the wife?
Oh, no.
Yeah. I would tell you it's not bad.
Oh, it's not bad.
No, and you know, when you say your first date, Dan, you seem like a reasonable guy. I may have to change my first date story here.
Yeah.
You should too,
Guy
maybe.
Shiraki, maybe Titanic?
It's along those lines.
Yeah.
I'd recommend this film. And some of it's because there are a couple of scenes that are unbelievable in it. Witness. Have you seen Witness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you live in this area and haven't seen Witness, you're missing out, right?
Yeah. It's not a great film, but it's very moving. The romance there with Harrison Ford and Kelly.
Yeah,
forget the act. Yeah.
I'll get that.
Particularly the scene where it all erupts. So, Guy, you see what's going on
Kelly
here, Dan?
McGillis.
Yeah, Kelly McGillis. You see what people are going on here with, Dan? Either they're honest like Ron and says, Torah, Torah, Torah. They've long settled that because he married a woman. Or others, they're thinking, no, if I'm running for president someday or some office, I don't want them to know I went to Torah, Torah, Torah. So does that endear Walls or does it make him to be a little bit screwy as he is? And the wife, too. I would say screwy.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit screwy. Yeah.
Because I think the two of them were sharp enough.
I think there might be a word that we could use for it.
Yeah.
Weird?
Weird. That's where I was going. Exactly. God, this guy. What is so great? He doesn't grate on you as much as me, does he, Walls?
No.
Okay, he really grates on me.
He just reminds me of something like TJ had out in Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's the thing. I know
this thing is boring.
The average person gets graded by Hillary. I don't get that graded by Hillary. And isn't Hillary looking good? Let's face it right now versus Kamala Harris. Hillary's capable. She's unlikable. Her ideology you could differ with, but she's capable. Kamala Harris doesn't strike me as capable in the least of anything other than moving ahead. I'm reduced to this. Harris and Walls have me down so much I'm defending Hill. Well, as a comparison.
I am a real person with
855-839-1210. And Bill O'Reilly, great advice. Look, we heard from Jeff Andrew. We love having Jeff on. One of the reasons is he talks to Trump. So yesterday, he told us he had just talked to the president that morning when he was on. And he said pretty much the stuff that we were saying. She's definitely beatable. Don't be swinging for the fences. Methodically take her apart. Don't get upset. I know it's hard. You have Biden on the ropes, and suddenly they ruthlessly tag her in. I get that. O'Reilly, Dan, says, you know what? Trump's got to go back to being charming. The funny Trump. Not the funny Trump when he's really trying to go after you, but just the fun Trump. It was fun. There's none of that in the campaign the last couple weeks. Put more of that back in. The charm offensive. I know O'Reilly doesn't seem to be charming, but I've been around O'Reilly. He is, other than he's intimidating first. But, yeah. What do you think of that, Dan? Charm offensive by Trump.
Yeah.
I mean, that was part of the whole fun of it. All right, 855-839-1210. Hit me with a Steve. Robert in Bensalem on that front. Hey, Robert, who's your Steve?
Hey, Dom, Dan, it's good to talk to you guys today. I got to tell you, though, Dom, I kind of agree with Dan on this. When you're a kid and you're going to a first date on a girl you know from school, a movie might be a good deal. But if you're an adult and you're trying to get to know somebody, like, for instance, me and my ex, we didn't go to a movie until we were together for a while. You know what I mean? I mean, you just want a dinner and something where you can get to know each other and still be entertained, and you're too engrossed in the movie to really do that. But I see what you're saying, because first dates are kind of a crapshoot anyway, if you think about it. But when I was younger, a movie would have been a good deal, or roller skating or something. But when you're older, you want to get to know the person a little bit.
That's fair enough. I just think you get to know them, though. You see what they're laughing at or what they're
What a relic of the past that I miss is roller skating rinks.
Yeah, roller skating rinks are good, too.
Gosh,
Yeah. Chip and putt or putt-putt. Yeah.
That's a good one, too. Something where you can talk while you're doing what you're doing. But, again, when you're younger and you already know the person, you know what I mean? That's a different scenario than when you're older and trying to figure them out. But for my answer to the side question, I was going to go with Stevie Ray Vaughan, died in a helicopter accident, and I can listen to his guitar all day long. And I'll leave it there. And you guys have a great weekend.
You too, Robert. Thanks as always. 855-839-1210. More calls coming up here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, are you constantly searching for a little bit of extra energy boost? As we age, our bodies produce less of the natural fuel needed to combat fatigue. Discover Rescue Orosine from Rescue Natural Supplements. Rescue Orosine helps enhance energy production at the cellular level supports a healthy heart, and maintains optimal blood pressure. Plus, right now, our exclusive radio listener offer. You can take advantage of a special offer. You buy one bottle of Oracene, get another one completely free. All you have to do is use the code FUEL when placing your order. Just visit res-q.com or call 800-26-ALIVE. Again, that's 800-262-5483. Speak with a knowledgeable rescue product consultant. So don't miss out on this limited time offer. Remember, use the code FUEL at checkout. Again, mention the code FUEL, F-U-E-L, when you call, or use it at res-q.com. Get that second bottle of energy-boosting Rescue Oracene totally free.
Next week, all eyes will be on Chicago for the Democratic National Convention, and Rich Zioli will be there.
Raise the minimum wage and eliminate taxes on tips for service and hospitality workers.
Listen afternoons 3 till 7 all next week for the latest news, excitement, and drama as it unfolds. Rich Zioli live from the Democratic National Convention. Afternoons 3 till 7 all next week. Only on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and on the free Odyssey app.
It's the start of another school year. Get your child or grandchild started off right. Special tutoring and custom instruction is available from METC, the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. Now is the time to call Kathy Ganna and help get your child out of the gate strong. Call the Motivational Educational Tutoring Company. For over 30 years, METC's tutoring studio, founded by educator Kathy Ganna, has helped people of all ages grow personally and academically. Call Kathy today at 215-493-4200. METC offers motivational SAT prep as well as academic skills and leadership training. Call 215-493-4200. Visit online at METC.com. Call METC's tutoring studio today at 215-493-4200 or email Kathy directly at info@METC.com. Remember, 1210 listeners receive a free 1-hour consultation. Take advantage of this opportunity to help your child get one-on-one help. Call 215-493-4200. That's 215-493-4200.
Comedian Joe Conklin.
Ship snappers moving from Kensington to Delco?
My uncle used to sell his gallstones at the Bazaar of All Nations out on Baltimore Pike. Had a nice establishment here, 3 different dart teams and 4 leagues, video poker, and hard-boiled eggs, pickled eggs. We keep them right out on the bar there.
See Joe Conklin in Delco at the Media Theater with the City Rhythm Orchestra, Saturday, November 16th. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com!
No one is happy to discover that the air conditioner is broken, and it always breaks on the hottest day of the summer in the middle of the night. That's why so many homeowners have Oliver's Peace of Mind membership. For as little as $13 a month, Oliver maintains your home's cooling, heating, plumbing, and electrical systems all year long. Membership also includes annual inspections, exclusive discounts on repairs and replacements, and priority emergency service. Call Oliver today or visit us online at oliverheatcool.com.
You can host the best backyard barbecue when you find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400.
Follow Talk Radio 1210 on Instagram and Facebook at 1210 WPHT.
All right, Tom Giordano show. You're going to take that one off, Dan, then? Playing that coming back? Or?
Yeah,
okay.
My favorite of all time. Actually, maybe not my favorite of all time, but top 3, Steve Winwood. How about take him off?
All righty. That's what we're looking for today. Stevens.
Voices.
Last name, Steve, Stephan.
How about Stephanie's?
Stephanie. Yeah, there's a lot of Stephanies.
Stephanies do work?
That's a very good one. All right, yeah.
How about Lady Gaga? Take her off the board.
She is
Stephanie Germanotta.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was unaware of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so that's the side question. Coming up, we're going to talk with Andy Puser, who is the former head of, I think, 6 or 8 national fast food chains. Hardee's, Carl Jr.'s, places like that. And he's often out there when we get a moment like this where people have been blaming. I'm surprised Harris doesn't open up today on big hamburger, big fast food. Think of how many times during this we saw people denying that fast food companies were charging that much because it's the ultimate. They're very, very price conscious. Did they sit around, according to Bob Casey Jr., and say, we'll charge you whatever we want? Why suddenly, Bobby, did they do that? Why didn't they do it under Trump? Why did they decide to do it under Biden-Harris? Well, they didn't decide to do that. It's called competition. By the way, I'm looking today when Harris speaks, economist E.J. Antoni put this up on his Twitter yesterday. Household wealth increased substantially under Trump. 27.9% during his 4 years to 3.2% during the Biden years. And isn't that the real barometer for people? Their own household, their own wealth. How's it going for them of what they've been able to create? And you're not creating anything under this, and you're going to create lesser. One fear today, too. Be watching this when Harris today says $25,000 for first home buyers, first generation. Question to be asked, and it's a serious question. Now, she's not answering any questions, but in a debate, how about if you're here illegally? She wants illegals to have full health care like Americans, okay. How about this $25,000 a year? Can you imagine the cost? Can you imagine the boondoggle of this? Remember September 2008? Remember what happened then? That was Bush. You can see where it goes. Today's a big day. And I have to predict, I think it's not going to be fleshed out today. I think it's going to take a little bit longer to see how America reacts to this. But the idea of doing something that's never worked and is associated with socialism, even communism, the old Soviet Union. What's the one thing we remember about them? Always standing in line. Shortages. That's what you're going to get with this. The fact that she's even willing to try it tells you a lot about where they believe America is. We'll see. I'm not seeing the Republicans geared up to effectively knock this down. We'll see if they can. All right, 855-839-1210. We'll talk with Mr. Fast Food first. Then your calls a little bit later on. What's good on TV and films? And with Scott Cronick, Dan, I'm going to ask him what's an appropriate first date film.
Oh, great question.
Not Tora. Do we believe Guy Shirocky actually went to witness on the first date, Dan, or is he cleaning up that resume for another run at Congress? What do you say?
Might be cleaning it up a little bit.
Cleaning up the resume. Guy, you got to call in on that one. We're not sure. Witness is a great choice, though. If that's around, go to that. Suddenly, too.
Is it a great choice for a first date, though?
Yeah, I think so.
A witness of a murder happening in a train station, and then
it's a love story.
The whole silo scene, and
yeah, but it's
a love story.
It is a love story.
It is. You're right.
Yeah,
but it's, I mean, interspersed with a crime.
Oh man, well, you're not going to see Bridges of Madison County.
Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not seeing that.
Why not bring the chick to a chick flick, or the girl to a chick flick?
Oh God,
yeah.
Do we have to do
like,
that?
That's what I do with Maisie.
I guess, yeah. I
guess what you do. What is it, 27 dresses that she's obsessed with?
Oh, no, it was the Anne Hathaway, and I just threw out.
Yeah.
Intern with Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, but there's another one, too, that she was really into.
It'll come to me.
The Proposal, I think.
That's, yeah. Well, The Proposal's not bad.
Yeah.
But, Betty White starts doing Indian noises and all, and playing superstitions in it. Yeah. 855-839-1210. All right, jump in on Talk Radio 1210.
Attention! Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers. So don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-580-7766. 800-580-7766. That's 800-580-7766.
40 days to lose up to 40-plus pounds with NJ Diet. It only takes 40 days to lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40-plus pounds. NJ Diet uses your hair, saliva, and blood work to personalize supplements that will target your hormonal imbalances so you can lose that weight. Then NJ Diet uses your DNA info to help you keep it off. Call Dr. T, 855-5NJ-DIET, or go to njdiet.com. 40 days up to 40 pounds, 40 days up to 40 pounds, NJ Diet.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I have a serious heart condition called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, or HCM. Some symptoms include being short of breath, feeling tired, or having dizziness or chest pain. I still had symptoms on my beta blocker, so I asked my cardiologist about any treatment advances. It was a breakthrough for me. That's why I'm working with Bristol Myers Squibb to raise awareness about HCM and to help others like me. Talk to your cardiologist today and visit hcmrealtalk.com for more information.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb.
Julia owed the IRS thousands.
I was paralyzed with fear.
Then
I heard a commercial for Optima Tax Relief.
Optima Tax Relief is the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and experts in the Fresh Start Initiative.
Optima Tax Relief settled my IRS tax bill.
Call Optima now for a free consultation.
It was amazing.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Don't miss our end of summer savings spectacular at Hessert Chevrolet. Get amazing deals on top Chevy models like Silverado and Equinox EV. Now's the perfect time to upgrade. Drive home a 2024 Silverado 1500 LT at 1.9% APR or a 2024 Equinox EV at 0.9% APR. See dealer for details. These offers won't last. Visit Hessert Chevrolet today or check us out at HessertChevy.com. Call 267-343-9094 for full details.
Your way or no way at Hessert Chevrolet.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, welcome in, everyone. Dom Giordano's show. Big day in the campaign, or will it be? Will it take more to flesh out? I mean, how much do you need when you have a party that's being called socialistic and you're putting price controls out there? And you're putting, with all due respect, a backward guy in Bob Casey Jr. out there as the intellect behind shrinkflation and greedflation. He's saying streamflation now.
Oh, new inflation.
Yeah.
How many inflations do you have till it all comes back to the one inflation?
Dan, I know you don't like this, but what I'd say to him is this. Right out of the box, try to throw him off. How about Taylor Swift? Is Taylor Swift charging too much for her concert tickets?
I wouldn't pursue that path, Dom.
Oh, why? You might say she is.
Because I think Andy needs to ask her next guest as well. How do you? Because the antitrust laws haven't been used. The anti-monopoly laws haven't been used, and there's been a lot of corporations that have consolidated big time, almost monopolizing industries. And
yes.
You see that with Live Nation and Ticketmaster. Live Nation's really taken up over 80% of arenas in the United States, and now musicians are at their terms, and they have full control. So, can you hold Ticketmaster accountable on a federal level? I don't think so.
I can't believe, though, that she is accountable to anybody right now. If she said, "I'll do it on my own," what are they going to do about it? I mean,
the venues won't have her. Where's she going to play? I guess parks. She can sell out Central Park, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Does Live Nation own Central? I don't know.
If they said she's coming to Belmont Plateau, you can imagine Philadelphia. Yeah. Andy Putzer joins us periodically. It has been a while. He's a former CKE restaurant CEO, Hardee's, Carl's Jr., Distinguished Visiting Fellow for Business and Economic Freedom at the Heritage Foundation. I think he's with the American Institute, too, the America First Institute. And big fast food has been attacked here. I don't know that Harris will do that today. Let's go to Andy here on Talk Radio 1210. Andy, welcome back to Philadelphia. Thank you for joining us.
My pleasure to be here, guys. You're in the most important state right now, so I'm happy to talk about any of the issues you want to talk about.
Well, I think this station's the most important in the universe at this point, but I always think, when I wake up, I think the show is, now the station is. But Andy, thank you again. Thanks for being with us. You are a great guy to talk with on a day like this, periodically, to show how far Biden-Harris inflation has gone. David Brooks did it, I think, at the airport in New York, but others we had here locally would show what they paid at a fast food restaurant, various sorts, and people would say they're making it up, they're getting the highest type of thing, and we really ran that down. Obviously, it was true that it even hit fast food. So here's the question for you, someone who has been inside supply chains, giant thing, all this stuff. What's the best way to get to the average American when she goes with this today and dismantle it?
Well, I just sticking with fast food for a second. There was a survey about a month ago where 78% of Americans said they now consider a fast food meal a luxury item purchase. And when I ran CK restaurants, I ran it for 17 years. We had restaurants in 40 countries outside the United States. And I used to go to some countries where fast food actually was a luxury purchase. Like people would go to a Carl's Jr. in Singapore on the weekend to get the California experience, and they'd pay higher prices, and it was like a big deal. But I remember thinking back then, that'll never happen in America. That's not the America I grew up in. It's not the America we had in 2019. Fast food shouldn't be a luxury purchase. You shouldn't be shocked every time you go to the grocery store or the gas station. Your savings account should be able to cover an emergency expense. You should be able to buy a house. It should be the American dream, not an impossible dream. And we've had 3.5 years of economic policies that have put all of these rational, low-cost purchases almost out of range. And you can't fix it by going in and saying, well, the government's going to come in and we're going to fix prices. Now, I think, which is what Kamala Harris is saying now, we're going to stop the gouging. There's two problems with that. One is there was no gouging. If you look at there are two measures of inflation, the PPI, the Producer's Price Index, and the Consumer's Price Index, CPI. And if you compare the two, so you look at what businesses were paying, how they were experiencing inflation, and how individual consumers were experiencing inflation because of what businesses charge, they're both up about 19 to 20% over the term of Biden's presidency. Nobody was gouging anybody. Businesses were passing on the expenses that they had to incur because of the ridiculous spending that was done during the Biden administration, which Larry Summers, who's kind of the Democrats' economist emeritus, warned would happen. We'd have inflation we haven't seen in a generation. Well, we got it, and it was because of the American Rescue Plan, which was ridiculously named, and the Inflation Reduction Act, which was tragically named. Both bills, the tie-breaking vote for both bills was Kamala Harris. They're her bills. Mm-hmm. Without her, we would not have those bills. And so the inflation that people are experiencing is directly tied to her policies, and she's trying to come up with anything apart from the policies that the Biden administration had, and apart from the policies that President Trump has, because she can't adopt too many of President Trump's policies, or people are going to say, why are we voting for you? But apart from those policies, which we know work, the Trump policies, and the Biden policies that caused the problem, she's got to come up with something. And so what she's come up with is the same solution that they came up with the Soviet Union and Venezuela and China. The government's going to come in and set prices. And hopefully Americans can see through that. If that was a good idea, if there really was gouging, if this was the solution to businesses gouging, which honestly wasn't happening. But if it were happening and this was the solution, why didn't she just walk 20 feet down the hall and knock on Joe Biden's door and say, let's put in place some price controls?
Well, that's the first thing. That's the first question
with inflation.
That's the first question of what they could have done. Why not do that? That politically resonates. As you may remember, Richard Nixon, of all people, tried this, abysmal failure. And I don't know that she's really meaning this. All right, give me your thoughts, Andy. Now, what do you think the appeal is and how to blunt this? The $25,000 down payment thing if it's your first home.
Obviously, what she's trying to do is appease. There are a lot of people out there that would like to buy a house, particularly young people, and they're very upset with the interest rates and the low supply in the market of houses. Now, that's obviously interest rates are up because of inflation. That's Biden-Harris. And nobody's building houses because interest rates are high, and you can't build them profitably. So you're not getting a lot of new houses coming in, and people are hanging on to the houses they have because they used to have, when they bought them during the Trump years, they had really low interest rates. So people are hanging on to their houses, no new houses coming on the market, and even if there are houses, you can't afford them because interest rates are so high. So she's trying to come up with something where she can say, I'm going to help you. I'm going to take $25,000 per person, and you can then go out and it'd be easier for you to buy a house. I think what people will probably realize is that if everybody has $25,000 making it easier to buy a house, if that actually works and more people buy houses, when there's more demand for a product, what happens to the price of the product? Well, it goes up. So you lose a lot of the benefit of having a $25,000 extra down payment because the price of the house goes up. The second thing is, where's all this money coming from? Like, who do we think comes up with that money? You think this is like Kamala Harris? It isn't her money. She's not going to be contributing. She spends, I like to say she and Biden spend like drunken sailors, but that's an insult to drunken sailors because the drunken sailor at least is spending his or her own money. They're spending our money. When Trump came out with this, we're not going to tax tips. We're not going to tax tips for waiters and waitresses and hotel workers. The left came on and screamed, this is going to cost $100 gazillion billion over the next 10 years, and Trump's a terrible person. Well, all of a sudden, we're going to do $25,000 per person to buy a new house, and nobody's saying, hey, you think that'll increase our $2 trillion a year deficit? By the way, we were screaming when it was $1 trillion under Trump. Now it's $2 trillion, and we're just going to absorb $25,000 per home purchase. How about that $35 trillion in debt that we have? Where does this money come from? Well, it comes from those same working Americans who are out there trying to survive every day, who want to buy these houses, want to have an easier and a better life, don't want this inflation and high interest rates. And these kinds of policies, they may appeal to people emotionally. This may, who knows? This could be successful. Maybe people aren't as smart as I think they are. But if people think about this at all, they're going to see right through these proposals. Every one of them would make the situation worse, and they're all pandering to people's emotions to try and get their votes. The solutions aren't there.
Absolutely. Andy, thank you so much. What's your main focus right now? Is it Trump campaign, America First Institute, Heritage Foundation? What are you up to now?
Well, I think AFPI, the America First Policy Institute, Heritage Foundation, we're all focused on getting President Trump elected. This is such an important election. As I said, Pennsylvania has played a key role in protecting our economic freedom and our individual liberty throughout our 250-year history as a nation. You're playing the key role again. This election comes down to Pennsylvania. If President Trump wins Pennsylvania, we will be out of trouble. We'll get the policies that had us thriving back in 2019. If Pennsylvania goes the other way, I fear for the future of our country.
Andy, when you're talking with them,
to try and get President Trump elected.
I agree with you. When you're talking to Trump or the other people, I try to do my best with Jeff and Drew. I'm taking all my chips. To your point, Andy, I'm pushing him into the table. Wow, what about this? I'm winning Pennsylvania because I believe all things being equal, I win Pennsylvania if it's Trump. He's going to win the presidency then. You got to win Pennsylvania.
Yes, I agree 100%. Which the best news in the campaign so far was the first decision that Kamala Harris made as the nominee really took the what could have won her the election, and she sacrificed it. She didn't pick Josh Shapiro, which I think told Hamas everything they needed to know about who she would be as a president. But she didn't pick Josh Shapiro, which would have made a big difference in Pennsylvania. I don't know if she still would have won it, but it would have made a difference, and she decided not to do it. I think that tells you everything you need to know about that campaign and that candidacy.
Andy, thank you. Please come back soon. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate the time. Bye.
It is pretty simple, Dan. I'm sure there's competing interests there saying, oh, what about Arizona? Oh, my God. We're worried about Florida. Win Pennsylvania, win the presidency. He's right, and that's what it comes down to here. Now, the big question out there, though, is obviously the base that's fueling this with Harris. They'll be celebrating tonight that she's going to move us more towards socialism if she gets her way. That's what she's proposing, or even communism. Will it work with those voters that are going to be critical in the 7-6 swing states? That's the question. How do you counter it? All right, 855-839-1210, you get in. I like the angle of Tom Cotton, Dan. He wants the question to be asked, and it brings in this whole issue, which I think ties together the economy and the border. Will illegals be eligible for this stuff? Will people undocumented, call them what you will? Are they eligible for this? Get her on record to say, no, we would never do that against American citizens. That's good, even better. Don't get her on record. We go around saying she won't answer. Yeah, illegals are going to get that home. They're going to give them $25,000.
Rather than broaching corporations at all, you say redirect is the strategy?
Well, the whole corporate thing here is emotionally, I get how that resonates with people, but the figures are not there indicating that they're making a giant profit off this. Again, certain corporations maybe, but the supermarkets, it's not happening. It's competitive.
I think the supermarkets, I'm not an economic expert, but the way I read it, and we were talking about this a little bit yesterday, because people were saying, oh, if you don't like Giant, go shop at Aldi. Well, the reason why Aldi's prices are so cheap is because they don't go with the corporate-style brands, and they're able to do in-house brands for much cheaper. So that's why Aldi, like the supermarkets, so I look at supermarkets, grocery stores, and I still blame corporations to a degree. And I look at a lot of the voting base of Trump. I think there's just as many libertarians as there are classic conservatives. And one of the biggest gripes of libertarians everywhere is the growing presence of corporations in our daily lives.
But when did it start that they were jacking up the price? Why didn't they do it during Trump?
I think they were. I think they started during Trump, and Trump just kind of let it happen to a degree.
But we didn't have inflation at any level. We had the normal level in the 2% range on just about anything that I remember. So I didn't see any evidence of any massive
I feel like what happened was coronavirus happened, and corporations, a lot of them, used coronavirus as an excuse to a degree, fakely inflate prices. Artificially inflate prices.
I'm not seeing that because I think they'd be undercut. I think it's more competitive. We differ on this.
But undercut by who when you have the same corporation owning 5 different,
I don't
brands
think
of clean?
But I'm talking about the corporate entity themselves. Like Acme is not owned by Giant, that kind of thing. So they bring out the products and they make the determination. And to some degree, they're going to try to undercut each other on basic products to get people into their store.
Yeah, but they undercut, say Kraft makes their ketchup $5 a bottle. Right. That enables Giant to list their ketchup at $4.50 a bottle and still undercut them, but they're still inflating their prices.
Okay, I don't. Again, why didn't it happen under Trump?
My whole point of this is I think if Trump takes a strategy of trying to deter or redirect or anything on the corporations, the question's going to be asked, well, is Trump pro-corporation then? Is he just going to turn a blind eye to their role in inflation? Because I think there's a multifaceted thing that's led to inflation here. And, taking corporations and what they're doing out of it is a big blind spot, in my opinion.
Well, I don't see the evidence of it. I don't see the evidence of it that that's a driver at the level that we're at. Now, if you want to say, some people listening have told me, well, I didn't go to Giant because I thought they were high on this, that, or the other, and I didn't think that was correct. Okay, but as the driving force, economically, we know what happens when you put that much money from the government into an economy, you drive out everything else. All right, we got the side question going on today, too. Hit us with an all-time Steve, 855-839-1210. You get on board. So Vice President Harris making these remarks at 2:45 today. We may dip in for 2 minutes or something to give you a flavor of it. I know Mike Opelka in for Rich today will have the opportunity to break it down, but she's going to say the things we're talking about. And this is a big moment because if she can get out from under the blame, and that's what it is. Americans were blaming Biden for this. Now, I think they were correct. If she can get out from under that, even a little bit, then that really shores up where she is. She believes she got out from under the border, even though I don't see that she's got out from under this. I like the Tom Cotton approach on the other part of this, $25,000 to first generation, more, but to your first home. Can you get that if you're here illegally? Is that going to be to people enough say, yeah, I want that. I want to get into a home. Trump didn't do anything like that. All right, 855-839-1210. So this is a big moment.
Do you think Trump could win in taking a corporate-style mindset of exposing BlackRock, Vanguard, and the hold that they have on ESG ratings, or do you think that's just going to go over the head of voters?
Yeah,
we talked about it on the show a lot.
Yeah, I think it's, maybe we talk radio. I think it's tangential. It's not direct toward where people are. The grocery store is the major thing where they are, seeing that day after day. 855-839-1210. You do get on board and hit us with that all-time Steve. By the way, if you were thinking about coming to our September 12th event with Don Trump Jr., Scottish Rite Auditorium, you got to go and check out now. They just announced yesterday a big flash sale. This is a really, really good discount. You'll see what I'm talking about. Just go to 1210 WPHT's Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for a special flash sale on tickets to Politics and Pints with Don Jr. I'm not going to call him Donald. They make me read the copy every time. Am I going to say Donald tonight? I'm going to say Don, right? Playing off the Don thing alone. I can't say Don. It's got to be Donald. I'll ask his guy. It's not going to say, well, I'm Donald Jr.
Get
I'm not
the name
Don
right.
He says Don
D-O-N.
Jr. Who are these people writing this stuff? 1210WPHT.com you can go to. We love to see you there that night. It's going to be spectacular with him. And again, this is a big event before the election. By the way, we'll have news, I think, next week on Mulligan's, the last fling. Dan and I have been busy. Dan's had some really good ideas of some of the folks we might bring to Mulligan's, the last event of the year. You know, summer ends. That's bad enough. But the Mulligan's run ends. Come on. You know, we need two more. I can picture it right now. Just through my head. The events this year have been spectacular. So we'll give you the date next week. Mark it down. Be there. You've said you're going to do it. Last fling of summer. It's all coming. 855-839-1210. You get in now with Dom and Dan.
Hey everyone, it's Donald Trump Jr. Join me and Dom Giordano Thursday, September 12th at the Scottish Rite Auditorium in Collingswood, New Jersey for the next Politics and Pints with WPHT. We will talk all things Trump, the 2024 election, and my father's book, Letters to Trump. South Jersey and PA suburbs are hugely important to electing Donald Trump president. Just head to 1210WPHT.com for tickets right now. Hope to see you there.
You're driving along when you realize...
Oh, I've got to get over. Oh my gosh, sorry.
You didn't see him, did you? He was in your blind spot. You can also have a blind spot when it comes to your retirement. That's where Joe Yakovich of JML Financial Group comes in. He knows about a little blind spot called taxes. Social Security, your pension, your investments, all can be taxable. Look, You don't want to end up saying,
Will I be writing huge checks to the government when I retire?
don't get blindsided by taxes. Make sure your retirement plan has a tax plan with one call to JML Financial Group, 856-925-6674. That's 856-925-6674. Or at jmlfinancialgroup.com. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company. JML Financial Group does not offer legal or tax advice. Please consult the appropriate professional regarding your individual circumstance.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Small business owners, we know finishing your to-do list can feel like climbing a mountain, but that mountain is also covered in banana peels. Then when something new gets added to your list, you're like, nope, I'm already climbing this huge, super slippery banana peel mountain of a to-do list. At Progressive, we don't want to make your day any harder. That's why we make it easy to manage your policy on our mobile app, so climbing that banana peel mountain feels more like a leisurely stroll. See if you can save on commercial auto insurance in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage subject to policy terms and conditions.
Do you have a property that you no longer want? Maybe you inherited the property. Maybe you're underwater in the property. Or maybe you're just a tired landlord, tired of dealing with tenants. Listen, I can buy those properties, and I'll buy those properties fast. I can close in 2 weeks. I buy properties cash. My name is Larry Steinhaus. Give me a call at 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I will personally answer the call. You can also visit EasyOutRealEstate.com. Hey, this is Larry Steinhaus from Investor Schooling. Did you know I have a radio show every Saturday from 1 to 3? It's called The Larry Steinhaus Show, and it's sponsored by Investor Schooling. On this show, you will learn things about finances and things about money that you never knew before. But even more of a reason to listen to this show is how much fun we have. If you haven't heard the banter between me, Omri, and Dr. Deb, you haven't heard the greatest show on earth. Listen to this show this Saturday at 1 o'clock right here on WPHT, and I promise you will learn something.
All Dom Giordano listeners, follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
All right, Dom Giordano Show, 855-839-1210. You know, I'm watching Fox coverage on this today, and they're right where I am. Watch for the, I wouldn't call it an October surprise since it'll start in September. They're itching, the mobs around Gaza, et cetera, to get back to college campuses and go wild and wilder and essentially strike schools. And you're going to see it play out in Chicago this week. They're massing to engage in that. Are they going to give Kamala Harris a pass? We need to have her elected president, so we're not going to go after her, push back her events, et cetera. No, I don't think so. They are a mob. They're out of control. They feel they have the upper hand. And it's going to be interesting to see if that issue penetrates. But I can't emphasize enough that I think today is a big day ongoing from what she's going to try to do and how that plays out in the debate with Trump. So it's going to be in Philadelphia, too, Dan. Trump was right on that. Remember, we talked about that. You know, why does the debate have to be here in Philadelphia? I'm saying that against our own interest. I broadcast from the belly of the Constitution Center when Obama debated Hillary, Dan, and it was unbelievable, the national press.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Even one guy saying, well, who are you? Why do you have with Ed Rendell? Because I have him, buddy. That's
Get
why
him out.
he's
Get
talking
him
to
out
me.
of here.
That's why. And I messed up his name. I put together two of these guys that were national, then I put them into one name, calling that was even more.
Oh, no.
I love it when the local guy gets the guests that they're. We knocked over a potted plant that was there in the basement as they're trying to get to Rendell. So it will be here. And we'll see initial reaction from this. Republicans have to do a very good job of making people aware about what she's proposing to do, how outlandish it is. Let's say for a moment, they even believe that corporations are out of line here. Let's just say that they believe that they're jacking up the price. The government is going to set those prices. What is jacked up? Tell us what the price is that's jacked up. Tell us specifically what it is that ought to cost less. How much less? How are you going to determine that? So, again, this is going to be a challenge for Republicans to push back on this. And, scaring people, too, to a degree. When you go down this path, you're going to get shortages. So let's talk about what the impact will be of what she says she wants to do. It will be shortages. It will be lack of abundance. Well, they're going to counter and say, well, how else are you going to stop big fast food and these others from overcharging? All right. What's overcharge? I'd love to hear from some. Dan's laid out some ideas on that, but if you believe you can tell me a product that you think they just jacked up the price, that's going to take a lot of research. That's going to take a lot to determine what the cost should be. And they're all in it together. There's not enough competition. Now, I think of businesses, Ticketmaster is one where I would, if I were running, I'd run against them. I'd say, I'm going to do something about this. And let's go to Jeff in Audubon. He's in on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Jeff, welcome in.
Hey, Dom. Thanks for taking my call. How are you?
Good, Jeff.
So my point is basically what you just said, in terms of I work for a company that sells food to restaurants, so I see pricing all the time. There's no way in the world that anybody in the government, unless they're looking at your books, knows what your labor cost is, what your food cost is, what your transportation cost is, the cost of HR and health insurance and all that stuff. They cannot possibly know that you're price gouging unless they know what all your costs are, because your costs are how you set your price. So unless they're looking at that, how do they know? They don't. So it's just a ruse.
Yeah, but what I would say to that, though, you're exactly right. And look at those. Some of those we can directly attribute to Biden, Harris, that people were reluctant to work. They were getting stimulus checks, so we've seen now. And they put in minimum wage, like in California, $20 an hour. We know energy costs have gone up. And we know when you overregulate across the board, as they've done, we know what happens. Business has to protect itself, hire more people, be more cautious. All that stuff is costly. So, I would really, Jeff, to your point, go after her on this, but you're really going to have to be buttoned up. You can't just scream socialism, communism. You have to be buttoned up. And I would go after the fact that she's never held any kind of employment outside the government. Most of them have not. How would they know how much that cost has gone up and have compelling stories of corporations of one sort or another who have legitimate costs that have gone up? And then what is too much profit? The grocery store profits are only 1.2%.
Correct. And I can just tell you from being in the business myself that if I know a competition is overpriced, I'm going into that account and saying, hey, this is our price. Look what you're paying for green beans or whatever it is you're buying, and that, you're going to get that business, especially in today's atmosphere.
Well, so, they're going to have to prove. We got to force them to make the case, then, is what I would do, that it is truly a monopoly, Jeff, and that they're price fixing. They're all in it together. And that's a harder case to actually have to prove rather than just saying it. In other words, I'm going to try to be as marshaled up as I can, as coached up as I can on this, and then force them to put meat on the bone. I don't think she can do it in a debate.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%, Dom.
Jeff, do you have a Steve?
So a famous Steve, is that what you're looking for?
Yep.
Yeah.
How about, could it be a female? Could it be Stevie Nicks?
Of course.
Off the board, though.
Off the board. All right. You have another one? Yeah, it can be any female. Stephanie's fine, too.
Okay. Probably off the board. Steven Spielberg.
Oh, that's a great answer.
That's a good one.
Wow.
All right, I'll put you down for that.
Look at that on the spot.
On the spot, Jeff. That was a great call, too. In other words, can do they have the burden of proof? Can she give this afternoon with all their researchers explicit examples where there's a monopoly of sorts around an individual product or these companies, and that explains why the cost is given up, and show us how that monopoly is doing it, that there's not real competition there. Okay? You know, my take on this is that I despise monopolies also, all right? Then I see the NFL. How do they get away? I always come back to something like this, examples that are monopolies. All right, phone lines. That was a great call. 855-839-1210, AT&T, and Verizon Wireless. So their point appears to be, I'm not sure about Harris, but Dan's point, it's not just the said grocery chain, but products in there may have a limited competitive thing as far as what they cost, because in one way or another, companies have gotten a monopoly on said product. Is that true? Well, that would be a pitched battle. Look, to win this, what I'm saying Republicans have to do, they have to be more compelling, more data-driven, and I'm always looking for the nugget, one that pushes back on them. Because I'm not going to depend on the American people. I'll be blunt here. Can we depend on them? They're going to see through Harris this afternoon and say, this is the same old nonsense. It's an attack on capitalism. Will they see it that way? Or will they say, you know, that makes sense? I always suspected it. You can't trust those corporations. You got to be ready that this could stick a bit. In other words, compare this to what Biden's been doing. Biden's just wanted to go forward and tout his great economy and saying, I feel your pain, but I'm not doing anything about it. She is willing to get labeled a socialist communist with price controls in order to say, I'm standing up for you. That's where the challenge is here. Look, I think she's incompetent, incapable, but her campaign has been aggressive at taking it to Republicans on our greatest liabilities, the border and this. It's very beatable, but you're not going to beat it just wishing the American people see through this. You got to grab them by the lapels. And Dan Cerrucci.
I got it.
Yeah.
Grab them by the lapels and shake them like hell.
That's exactly what you got to do here. That's what it's called for.
You blew it.
I'm sorry I was a little late.
All right. It's doable. All right, 855-839-1210. You get on board. Hey, while you're enjoying your summer, a reminder, football returns this week, and next week the Birds play. It's preseason, and it's a great reason to call your nearest Captain Chucky's. Get the all-new Wild Shrimp Scampi Ravioli. Chucky's teaming up with Vera Pasta, offering lobster, crab, and now Wild Shrimp Ravioli. Order the brand-new Bang Bang Jumbo Lump Crab Cake. You will love that Bang Bang Crab Cake. Ro just had it again last night, a delicious, creamy, 5-ounce jumbo lump breaded crab cake with a kick. For those who like to spice it up with some heat. Perfect time, too, to check out all of Captain Chucky's offerings. Delicious stuff, mushrooms, salads, desserts even. They have it all. That key lime pie at some. There's literally a crab cake for everybody. But then you have the Gulf shrimp. That is a big hit. That's probably second place. Always wild caught, never farm raised. And then my favorite, for obvious reasons, those delicious Dom rolls. So visit Captain Chucky's today, location near you. WeLoveCrabCakes.com is where you go to find all this. WeLoveCrabCakes.com. To the shore, visit Captain Chucky's at theshore.com.
At California Psychics, we know that when you haven't found love, it feels like everyone else has. Every movie has a love interest. Every song is a love song. Where are all the songs about cats? Or the joy of early bedtimes? And of course, the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to help you find the one. We connect you with the very best. In fact, 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us don't make the grade. That's why we can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, is free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So you could be feeling all lovey-dovey real soon. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
We have a man who's a warrior, a great military person. Dave McCormick is a seventh-generation Pennsylvanian who grew up in Bloomsburg, went to West Point, and earned a Bronze Star for his service in the First Gulf War. Dave went on to an outstanding career in business, and now he's fighting for the people of this Commonwealth, and he loves this Commonwealth.
Conservative Dave McCormick.
We need new leadership. We need a new president in the White House that's going to get our country back on track. We need a new majority in the Senate that's going to be able to take our country in the right direction.
Dave will vote to secure your borders, stand up to China, unleash incredible amounts of Pennsylvania energy, and he wants to stop Biden inflation. David McCormick, you have my total support and my total endorsement, and you got to win. Dave McCormick.
I'm Dave McCormick, and I approve this message.
Paid for by friends of Dave McCormick. www.davemccormickpa.com.
Offer not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
We should do what my brother did. He went to GetCash.com and got $3,000.
With our bad credit?
GetCash.com is different. They're one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope. My brother said it was fast and easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan of up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account as soon as the next day. Our lenders have millions of dollars to lend regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to GetCash.com and we'll have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to GetCash.com. That's GetCash.com. GetCash.com.
Weather sponsored by Robert Half.
The forecast becomes unsettled for the weekend. Plenty of sunshine today, though, a bit more humid with a high near 90. Tonight becoming mostly cloudy, low 70. And for Saturday, mostly cloudy, humid, and cooler. Chance for some afternoon showers and storms with a high 84.
9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Our recruiting professionals utilize an award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Dom Giordano's show. Now, I don't know anything other than what I'm going to tell you, but the Milwaukee Police Association just endorsed Trump Vance, and Vance was there for the endorsement. Now, they're in Wisconsin, which is technically purple. I would say it leans blue. It's a tough state. Trump won it the first time. It was miraculous. And Milwaukee is a blue city and very liberal. What will the Philadelphia FOP do? I don't remember if they endorsed. I think they must have endorsed Trump one time here, Dan. Didn't they in 2016 or 2020? Maybe in 2020. All right. Now, again, they endorsed Josh Shapiro over Doug Mastriano. My advice to them was, come on, guys, just stay out of it. He's a doofus. I know. Just don't endorse Shapiro. Come on.
I mean, now looking back, I hope they regret it because they almost made the guy a vice presidential candidate.
Yeah,
in the long run, you're right.
Will they stay out of it? Now, if they endorse Harris, the other guy, Walz, I would have nothing to do with them. I really won't. That'll be it. I don't want to have them on. I'm just saying, I just don't want to have anything to do with them. Now, if they don't want to go political and they feel they can't endorse Trump, then I want to have them on. I want to hear why. Who has your back more? So you got in Harris, defund the police. You have in Walz, defend the police, and give up the 3rd precinct. I'm just saying, Dan, because there's new people over there now, and McNesby's not there. And people say, well, what do you get all wound up with these cop endorsements? You know what? Why did Vance go all the way in Milwaukee, Wisconsin to get this endorsement? I'm surprised Trump wasn't there. It matters. People want to know who people on the front lines are behind. And the reason they're behind, they feel they have their backs. And Harris and Walz do not have their backs. She can say she's a prosecutor all she wants. She's a Krasner prosecutor. So let's turn up the heat a little bit here to see what they do. And I remember with Shapiro and Mastriano. Mastriano was against all unions, but I get it. Not in this case. So the best should be they endorse Trump. It should be an obvious thing. And we're going to see what happens in places like Michigan. Detroit police, I would predict they might endorse Harris. How could any cops group, here's the way I would put it. You know what? You go around endorsing almost any Democrat imaginable. Almost. Don't come to us then when they're coming after you, when they're standing with Krasner or not helping you. Don't come to us when people are shooting at you, not valuing you, wanting to defund and all that. You got to stand with the people that are with you. Otherwise, as much as it pains me, nope. I am just not going to be involved in anything. It's a big moment here. And Dan, I don't know anything. I'm not saying I know anything, but I put it 50-50 about what's going to happen here. By the way, I did make them aware of something, and thanks to Dan for getting great guests on this week. They're looking into it. We revealed this week that the NFL is forcing police in Vegas to give up biometric data in order to be there and offer protection. I think they work plain clothes, they get paid for it. It's all that, police protection of the NFL. And the claim was that they might sell that to organizations that might even be anti-cop, and B, that the NFL is doing this to everyone. So, Dan, I forgot to tell you, our guy says that they're looking into it. All right, let's see what happens then. I mean, does the NFL care about cops? No, they're not respecting them here. We proved that this week. All right, a lot of people want to get in. I'll be coming to you. Coming up, our entertainment guy with us this week. We will talk what's good on TV and what's good in movie theaters or Peacock and the like. And we'll take more of your calls coming up here on Talk Radio 1210.
The following is a paid commercial announcement.
What happens when Washington liberals spend trillions of dollars? Just look around. Prices are way up. They pushed a bunch of reckless spending, and Senator Bob Casey voted for it. Now we're paying higher gas prices, higher grocery prices, and higher utility bills. Casey helped create this mess by voting with President Biden 98% of the time, including voting for trillions in wasteful spending. Instead of listening to the warnings, Senator Casey sided with the liberals, causing this inflation disaster. Casey voted to let illegals take your tax dollars. He voted to let illegals collect $500 million in COVID relief checks. It's more for illegals and less for us. Come on, Senator Casey. That's just not right. Call Senator Casey at 202-224-6324. Tell him to put Pennsylvania families first and fix his inflation disaster. Support S575, the Fight Inflation Through Balanced Budgets Act. Paid for by One Nation, OneNationAmerica.org.
Right now, we know everybody's probably thinking the same thing. How can I get a free furnace? How did they know, you ask? Well, we're Horizon Services. That's what we do. So here's what we're thinking. Right now, get a new AC system installed, which you'd probably already thought about doing anyway because it's been so hot outside. And you'll get that free furnace. See, I told you we were thinking. Get a new AC and you get a new furnace free. You're getting AC. Why not a free furnace? Book now at horizonservices.com.
Hey, Joe DeCamera here. Isn't it time to invest in yourself? Well, how about this? Start a PI Dental Center with decades of experience in complex dental treatment, and I've been a patient of PI Dental for 20 years. Dr. Glenn Wolfinger and Dr. Robert Slough, they're board-certified prosthodontists. They specialize in the restoration and replacement of teeth, and PI Dental Center are the originators of the teeth in a day. It's a revolutionary treatment that delivers fixed teeth and implants placed for a dramatic transformation in a mere one day. So visit PIDentalCenter.com. That's PIDentalCenter.com to request your new patient evaluation.
When you go on vacation, does it make sense to have someone else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement but don't have a plan customized to your goals, that's kind of like taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in your suitcase. Seems like a stressful way to start what should be a relaxing time. Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to help reduce future taxes, along with a clearly defined income strategy. Call Jim at 610-894-7415 for your complimentary retirement game plan, or visit retirereadyfg.com. That's 610-894-7415.
Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
Outside, you can fry eggs on the sidewalk. But here, in the cool comfort of Colonial Marble and Granite, you can beat the heat with stone-cold savings on the region's deepest selection of stone surfaces. Like 20% off fully installed countertops starting at $29.99, plus a free 23-inch stainless steel sink. But hurry, the sun sets on these savings Monday, August 19th. Restrictions apply. Visit colonialmarble.net for details. That's colonialmarble.net.
Don't miss Borgata's $1.5 million Summer Showdown. Now through August 31st, 1,500 winners will earn a share of $1.5 million. Plus, 2 lucky players will win a 2024 Ford Bronco or Jeep Rubicon. Earn entries for drawings held every Saturday, including 2 grand prize drawings on July 27th and August 31st. The $1.5 million Summer Showdown, only at Borgata Hotel, Casino, and Spa. Must be 21 or older. Players must be present to win. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Calling on Blackwood to follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
Tom Giordano Show. Welcome in every other week. Scott Cronick from AC joins us, our entertainment report, TV, movies, streaming. Watch that. Bob Casey's going to Streamflation. I shouldn't even be doing this segment, according to Casey. Let's go to Scott here to get some good stuff for you to be watching. Hey, Scott, welcome in.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good, Scott. I would tell you briefly, with all the stuff going on in the world, the thing today that's got people riveted, we found out one of the candidates on a first date with the wife went to see Falling Down with Michael Douglas. And that set people off either to prove they had some romantic or worthy film or to admit. One guy called in and said, took her to see Tora, Tora, Tora. Oh, my God. So you're an entertainment guy. What did you do the first time you went to a movie with your wife?
Wow, the first time, man. I don't remember the first time, but I think that movies are terrible first dates, right? I mean, if you actually want to get
this guy, get him out of here. Danny's
my kind of guy.
Wait a minute, Dan coached him up. This is rigged. Go ahead.
No, that's not true. Actually, he asked me the question, but I didn't answer him. But the thing is, how do you get to know somebody when you're quiet in a movie? I mean, I never really got that. So I probably was a little while till I took my wife to a movie.
Okay.
But that said, I think a scary movie is the best bet. Because then, maybe they get a little scared and they go.
There we go. The age old, right? Yeah. She doesn't know that's coming.
Yeah.
Watch that hatchet, and there goes the arm. Are you a left arm guy or a right arm guy? I'm more of a left arm, even though I'm right-handed.
Or you could take them to see Diner, and then maybe the popcorn trick will work.
A nice reference. All right. I've been a fan of the Giants and the Weasley GM with Hard Knocks. Thought it was a very good one. But I've only seen, I think, one, Scott, and I liked it better so far, of the Chicago Bears on HBO. Maybe because of the new quarterback. Something about it I liked a little bit better. How about you?
I think I like the other one a little better. I think they're both pretty good, but I think I like the other one a little better. I love the back. I like the back office dealings and all that stuff that we don't really know of. Like the on-field stuff, I think we get a pretty good grip of. But I love that back office stuff because that's a thing that we never saw before. So I thought that was really cool. But I do like the way we're seeing this new, the new quarterback of the Bears and how he's kind of being acclimated and stuff like that. Did it occur to you, Dom, how it almost seems like, you got to remember, when you watch these, how you're reminded that these are just kids, right? And when you watch, you think that there's these grown men and these big athletes, and they're making tons of money, but really, when you look at their behavior and stuff, you start to realize they're just kids, right, Dom? And it's kind of alarming in a way that these kids are given all this attention and all this opportunity and all this. No wonder they screw up. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you're literally handing them a lot on their plates, but when they're not doing like athletic stuff and stuff, you can see their like kind of very immature behavior, right, Dom? It's a little.
I agree with you. That's why you got to try to choose somebody who suddenly, you're right, is a kid. And maybe getting on paper anyhow $40 to $100 million, you got to say, that could be a problem. Your point, sure.
Yeah, I think that's been the best thing for me about this the Bears thing, because I never watched these Hard Knocks before. So to me, it's really enlightening to see and to kind of remind us that these are 21, 22-year-old kids that are thrown into the wolves, man. And no wonder why they screw up sometimes. So I give them a lot of credit when you see the work ethic and what they have to do to make it every day. And they keep using that word grind, and it's a grind, man. It is a grind being in the NFL.
Scott, what's the big thing now, either theaters, somewhere else that we can get a film? What are you watching that you really like, you recommend today?
I know that it's not great by any means, but I think Borderlands, the movie that was made, that's been I think it's going to be one of the biggest box office bombs of all time. I think it had $125 million budget and it made $8 million last week, and it's gotten really hammered. And I went to see it, and maybe it was because I had zero expectations. I liked it a little more than maybe I should have. It's Kevin Hart. Jack Black is a robot. I thought it was funny. I thought it was really fun sci-fi. It's based on a video game, and I think that anybody that played the video game will like it. I think it's certainly not great, but it's way better than what I thought it was going to be.
It's purely as a film, though. If you didn't play the video game, I don't mean to interrupt you, Scott, but if you did not play the video game, is it still something relevant enough that you can just sit there and you don't need to know the backstory and you understand it, or where do you stand on that?
Yeah, I don't think you have to. I think it's just a mindless, fun flick. There's nothing deep about it. There's nothing that we haven't seen before, but it's just fun summer movie on an IMAX screen. I thought that was fine. I don't think it's good. I think it might end up being one of those cult movies just because of the bomb it was. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then I didn't, and I know the other one I didn't like so much, and I won't rip it too much, is I thought Shyamalan's movie was a little disappointing. Trap. I won't rip it too hard, but I thought I went in there expecting it to be a little better because I really liked the End of the World movie with Batista, that Knock at the Cabin. So I went in there hoping it was going to be a little better than it was.
What's the best Shyamalan flick in your guys' opinion?
Sixth Sense. That's about the only one, I think.
No, I like the Sixth Sense. That probably is the best, but I really think the one with the other one with Bruce Willis, with Samuel Jackson, where it's based on, it's like a comic book, but it's not. Oh, come on, man! Why am I not getting that?
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
Yeah.
I actually like Unbreakable a little more than Sixth Sense.
Now, Scott, on Netflix, do you like Eric? And I wanted to ask you, I don't think we've talked about this. I like Owning Manhattan. It's a guilty pleasure, but I pick up several things in there that I like.
Yeah, I have a guilty pleasure of these reality shows, too. And Owning Manhattan is one particularly good one.
I think it is, yeah.
Owning Manhattan, so that's why I come on the show. You can turn me on to something, but but I don't think this is going to be it, guys. I gotta be honest with you. It looks like it looks like the next Bachelor or something. What is this thing? Is it like a real estate Bachelor? What is this?
Yeah, well, I was going to tell you the great thing they do is somehow or another these brutal moments, they allow the cameras to be there. It's about a rising real estate company that actually is trying to sell, among other things, a building in Central Park that would cost you $250 million. And it's about 700
What I like
feet
about
high.
the show that differentiates from like Selling Sunset and all these others is I love the guy's drive. And you're talking like the real estate of all real estate agents, and it's fascinating to watch. But I think it takes a special type to enjoy these reality shows. I don't know. Is Riss into these types of like Real Housewives? Because Maisie's into it. They kind of spurned into this, and we're liking this show. But is this something you've ever broached, Scott?
No, she's more into like stuff like vampire stuff or like Buffy the Vampire spin-offs, like stuff like that. Yeah, she's not. But I'm looking at the picture of this. I'm looking at the picture of this guy from Owning Manhattan. You want to talk? If the guy from the Giants was sleazy, what's this guy? This guy
Oh, Scott, you watch one of this. I'm telling you, you'll be intrigued because it has that element, but they're very creative. They're brilliantly executed how they film this. So. Scott, what's happening this weekend as we churn through August here in AC?
Well, in AC, real quick, but by the way, Aliens Covenant came out yesterday. I can't wait to go see it. I'm a big Aliens fan. This is a new launch movie, so that's going to be the big movie this weekend for everybody that's looking for something. And tomorrow night, we have an amazing Tom Petty tribute band starring our very own Chuck Darrow, who I think a lot of us know. He plays bass in the band.
Sure.
But it's maybe the best Tom Petty tribute band I ever saw. There, a free show, no cover, 8 o'clock tomorrow, Tennessee Avenue Beer Hall. I hope everybody comes out.
Thank you, Scott, very much. And watch that first.
Wait, before we let Scott go, I'm just curious. What does Chuck Darrow play?
He's a great bass player.
Really? I didn't know that. Huh, today I learned.
Right,
by the way, if you're a Tony Danza fan, he's playing tonight at Resorts. He was on my show recently, and he does a really cool show, like song and dance, like Sinatra kind of thing. It's tonight at Resorts if anybody wants to check it out. But it's actually better than it sounds, believe it or not.
All righty, good stuff. Dan, why don't you check out, see how long he's there? Tony Danza can come over to Mulligan's.
We've had him on, right?
He's a Philly guy. Oh, yeah, but we get him over to Mulligan's if he's an AC.
That'd be awesome.
That would be a good guest. Who's the boss, among other things? He was a teacher, too. That's what I interviewed him on. All right, big 2 o'clock hour. We have Dom's Money Melody. Got a lot of people waiting. There is anticipation today because this is the first time that current VP Harris, if we're going to be proper, is unveiling some kind of policy. And it's a whole array of things. Oh, by the way, of course, she's going to tell us insulin. Can we stop it already? Trump capped insulin. You can look it up. We're not going to go through that excruciating. It's not the end of the world, biggest thing, but he did it. Stop taking credit for it. 855-839-1210.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that team is Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical staff at Innovative Medical Associates. Yes, cancer is a scary word and a difficult condition if you've been diagnosed. Over the years, the staff at Innovative Medical Associates has helped hundreds of patients with their unique medical hydration protocols. Cancer support is a large part of the practice at Innovative Medical Associates.
We believe in medical hydration. We've improved it so much that we are able to help people across the board with challenges before they become chronic.
Talk about improving your quality of life. Most likely, that'll happen when you visit Innovative Medical Associates. Check them out on the web at innovativemedicalassociates.com or call 856-489-0505 to schedule your initial complimentary consultation.
Dan owed an unbelievable amount of money to the IRS.
I got behind on my taxes. It's a horrible feeling.
He was in denial.
And when I got those letters from the IRS, you wanted to act like they didn't exist.
Finally, Dan turned to Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima got me a settlement with the IRS. These people are really people-friendly. It was every bit of a new lease on life for me.
The fast action and the great results made Dan's head spin.
I felt like I was in a dream, but it's real, and I have paperwork to prove it. They got the job done, and life is good.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation.
If you're worried about what's going to happen with the IRS, stop worrying. Make the call now.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
On Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, Dan, put this up on Twitter, would you please? Make it as convenient as you can. Is going to a movie on the first date a good idea? Yes or no? Let's see where they come down.
It. Yep, going up now.
I'm predicting I win by the time I'm done this hour, I win with 51% of the vote.
I think you're going to be wrong. It's 70% say no, 30% say yes.
Oh, that much?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Is movie on the first date a good idea? Is that how you want it worded?
Yes. Boy, every cardinal principle of talk radio under fire here.
All right, it's being posted as we speak. You want a fire poll for an hour, or do you want something to last over the weekend?
No, just for the hour.
Okay.
Because I want to see by the end where we are. Get to at Dom Show 1210. Please restore sanity
49 minutes. We're going to have it expire at 52.
What's the first vote? Probably in
Nothing,
already.
Yeah, it's just been posted. Just been posted at Dom Show 1210.
Thank you to Tim Waltz, Tampon Tim, because we found out Mr. Folksy, Mr. Calling Everybody Weird, takes the wife on the first date to seeing Falling Down with Michael Douglas. Film I like until he kind of gets involved with that Nazi guy in a store thing there. He rejects him ultimately. But there's some interesting stuff as he's going across L.A. to get to the denouement, trying to get back to his former wife. Then it's pretty violent at that point. I can't imagine going on that for a first date, but a curious choice.
8 views, but no votes. It seems people don't want to vote.
You don't know. It's a simple question. My God. How are we going to beat Harris, Dan, when she's attacking capitalism and people can't vote on this?
People are pondering down
there.
They're
pondering, yes, so they ponder.
Deep inside themselves, too.
All right. You know, the way I'm building.
Here we go. We got some results now. Yes, 66.7%. No, 33.3%, with a huge sampling size of 3 votes.
All right. I'm in the lead. Keep it going here. All right. This may be a backlash against Dan because of his supermarket comments here, I guess. Or not supermarket, but applesauce.
Yes, back to the red.
Yeah.
But more of a communist red over here.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So what Harris is banking on today, what this is coming down to politically, is that this is the greatest vulnerability. She's distancing herself from Biden without condemning Bidenomics. So, again, I'm just talking politically, not even reality of the world. Got to keep tying her to Bidenomics in one way or another. Why didn't you recommend that? Why didn't you do some of these things? What's the evidence that you push for this? I mean, you were the border czar after all. You're a prosecutor. Why didn't you in the Biden administration, or did you do that and you were rejected? Now, these are hard because she's not answering anything. She's not doing anything at all. The only interview was she and Walls were interviewing each other about white guy tacos or something. That's about the only thing we've seen. Now, Trump has to add to his repertoire. We know the strengths. In a debate, has to add to it the idea of a lot more detailed pressure on this whole thing with price controls and all this, tie it back to the Biden administration. Why didn't you do this stuff over the last number of years? In other words, you're trying to shake the premise that corporate America was driving this, because if they were, and you started to see that, why not go after them? Did Biden reject it? Did you not propose it? Why didn't you propose it? Even on CNN last night, here is, and this is another angle, Dan. I think if she believes in anything, she might believe in this. This is cut 10. Here is Abby Phillip talking that Harris's price gouging plan sounds kind of like just a ploy.
One of the things that we learned about her policy that she's going to roll out is support for a ban on price gouging. Mm-hmm. Now, I think reasonable people would ask, what does that mean? What does that really mean? And how is the government going to be involved in it? Here's Noah Rothman in the National Review. He describes this policy as a rank pander to the economically illiterate. And despite the presence of many who fit that description in Congress, who understand that allowing the executive branch to functionally set prices is a brain-dead idea that would only hurt consumers in the long run. I mean, is this just a ploy? Because it sounds kind of like it.
So you can play with both things here. Is this just pandering? She really doesn't believe it. And in fact, in a lot of ways, that might be a nice angle of approach rather than just the commie approach, which I don't think she's a communist. I don't think she really believes in anything, but she is a socialist in the end through the party and what she thinks will get ahead. So you can approach it with both angles. Little update from Dan's news desk, too, and I'll tell you why this is interesting, Dan. We got a text from a police source. What has Meek Mill done here?
Yeah, he has called out, this is yesterday, Meek Mill says, I want to ask Kamala Harris questions about her past as a DA, even if she had to be tough. All I hear is rumors of her. I'll ask her 3 questions about black and brown men going to prison and her views, and try to help her understand from a survival standpoint, point she may have never had to encounter.
My gripe with her is this. She was weak on violent crime, things of that nature. She went after 2 things. She went after marijuana. She was smoking herself in order to, gloss her image as a tough DA. And she went after all kinds of corporate interests, much of it unnecessarily, as Attorney General. So Meek Mill, though, doesn't look like he'd step in and be with Trump or endorse Trump the way I read it. But if he did, now Trump has added somebody to his debate prep, which will be in Philadelphia, by the way, Tulsi Gabbard. I don't know that Trump can come at her in the manner that Tulsi Gabbard did during debate, but it's worth listening to somebody who's been successful in pushing back. And it's noticeable that after that debate, when Tulsi Gabbard brought up what we're talking about, that Harris did drop out. She was getting no traction. She was riding high when she went after Biden as a racist. But when she had to defend it all, she's not good at it. She's not used to it. She's never had to do it. She's advanced without having to defend anything. So if I had to, I still don't see her doing an interview. And if she can't find a softball interview out there that she thinks is softball enough, that's pretty remarkable. All right, so Meek Mill going after her on this. But this is a major moment, a major day here. So let me go to Russ in Willow Grove. I think Russ works in a grocery store. Hey, Russ, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, I just want to say, I usually listen to your show a lot, and I heard Dan going off about, like, grocery stores price gouging, and I guess I believe he's way off. I worked at the grocery store for about 35 years. I worked at about 3 different companies, and they're not price gouging at all. I mean, their markup's probably like 1% to 2%. They're trying to just stay afloat. If somebody had a great idea, they could undercut one of them and probably take over the market. So I do not believe that it's the grocery stores.
Okay, well, Russ, I'll let Dan respond. I would just say, I think his point, Dan's is that the price is already set that the grocery store has to meet. In other words, there's a monopoly on certain products. Dan,
I think you could verify that. Like, say Kraft has, ketchup or mustard. The grocery store doesn't have much of a choice as to how much they can, undercut Kraft there. They're the conglomerates, these corporations that are.
But Kraft is raising the prices sometimes because of the distribution of getting the products around. But I mean, you have gas prices going up, and you have to adjust for all that stuff. You know what I mean? So you're gonna.
That's understandable, but I also think like we can't turn a blind eye to the fact that CEOs have indeed skyrocketed, their income, and there's a lot going on with corporations where is all this money going, and why is the prices of the products going up so much? And then there's a conversation about monopolies and such, and you make a great point. If a company wanted to come in and undercut the product and sell it for cheaper, they could. But the reality is, the way it's set up currently in our country is there are so many monopolies, and there's so little companies owning these, conglomerates essentially that you can't get into it.
About that. you're right about the monopolies, but the price gouging is a different thing than monopolies, okay? The monopolies are all over.
Well, they're able to price gouge because they're a monopoly is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but let me interject here, Russ. Why didn't they do this before, Dan? Because they've had this grip. It's not that Kraft is just suddenly
they got away with it. They got away with it during coronavirus, and they're able to exploit it.
Dan has a point with like how the CEOs are making a lot more money, this and that has always been where, yes, they have a lot of risk, so they get a lot more pay because their job's always on the line. When you lose that job, you got Steve Bird, that used to be with like Safeway and all that, and basically he got into the Willow Grove area. They tried to bring the way that they ran the West Coast to the East Coast, and basically it went down. And then they ended up selling their stores, and it went to like Giant and all that. But the way they are price gouging is not. I mean, I work at the grocery stores, and most grocery stores are pretty much the same price around. The products are cheaper at other stores. You got Walmart that can buy a lot more products at a lot cheaper prices because they buy more in bulk. So they do undercut a little bit, but they can't undercut everything. Sometimes the other grocery stores can undercut on different products.
All right, well, Russ, thank you. Thank you, Russ. Thanks very much. Well, look, I told you that this Today with Harris, to Russ's point and Dan's point here, the grocery store part of this really hits home because everybody has experience with this. Almost everybody's a shopper. Everybody has a favorite place. Everybody's looking at the prices. So it's going to be a big moment. I'm not feeling really good. I need more from the Republicans on this. You can't wish it away. You got to bury her. That's what I'm going to do in this. And I'm not sure that I see the nugget out there of how they're going to unwind this. Now, they have to wait to see exactly the way that she approaches it. But next 48 hours with Republicans on this, if she can diminish.
I think I know how he can do this.
Go ahead.
It turns into an issue of the establishment. For years upon years, Congress, Senate have turned a blind eye to utilizing the Sherman Antitrust Act to get in front of these mergers that have led us in this, where we're at now. And you have Walz, who was in Congress. You have Kamala, who was in Senate, who could have done something about it. They did nothing about it. So turn it against the establishment and make yourself the anti-establishment candidate again.
Well, but okay, that's good. And it comes back to, though, with the Biden administration, why did she propose these things before with Biden, where they rejected? Now, she's not answering any questions, Dan, but that's what I would go with 3 or 4 follow-ups on that. Why did this occur to you just now? It gets at the idea this is pandering. Why wasn't this a policy before? How do we know that you really do it? Where's the evidence of that? I might take that tactic as much as socialism with this. All right, let me take a couple Steves here. Alan in Hamilton. Alan, who's your Steve?
Steve Reeves.
All right, tell us why you chose him.
He was a bodybuilder who transformed his popularity into films and became a movie star. And that was long before Arnold Schwarzenegger did the same thing.
That's a good angle. Yeah, he was the first one. And Greta in Gloucester. Greta, how have you been? Who's yours today?
Doing great. I'm on the beach in Ocean City.
There you go.
Carlton. And they ought to check out why the price of postage is up to 73 cents. I think it's up 7% this year.
Nicely played by, Steve Carlton, Dan.
Yeah.
You never saw him in his prime.
Nope.
The slider, oh, my God. Try even visualizing it, let alone hitting it.
Lives in a bunker now, right?
Oh, yeah, and he's a survivalist and all. Yeah, it'd be a great interview. I'd love to get Steve Carlton. Steve, tell us about the living off the grid. I don't know if he comes back for the Phillies thing or if they want him coming back.
He just wants to live a quiet life.
Yeah, exactly. All right, it is time, though, as always, for a great prize for...
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Has all the money gone?
And today we're playing again for a $50 gift card to Burger King.
Yeah, Dom, so today I'm going to let you choose. Why not? We're talking Steve's, and I lined up 2. I have Wonder... And I have, well, it's not Steve, but it's close to it. It's Blind Faith. It's Dave Mason, a cover by Steve Winwood. So I have 2 Steves, Winwood or Wonder. Where do you want to go with today?
Oh, Wonder. Let's have a little Wonder.
We're going to do some Wonder here. So, Don, I'm going to play back a song, and I want to know what song this cover is sung in, or what language this cover is sung in.
Boy,
Well,
I knew
can't
that
talk
was
to
coming.
Well, I said it yesterday. I wanted to make it hard for people. So, Dom, today I want to know what language this is being sung in. Maybe I'll have some clues after we listen to it. But it's Stevie Wonder song. Take a listen.
Låt musiken få liv. Låt det bubbla fram en sång, just det man känner. Låt musiken få liv. Låt det toner som du har innan det blir vänner.
Down the country that this language is spoken in has the most elks or moose per capita living in the wild in the world. And there is an illegal tradition of trying to burn down the giant Christmas straw goat every year. So, Don, we want to know what language this song is being sung in today. 855-839-1210 to win that BK gift card.
All right, jump in right now. First one in with that $50 gift card here on Talk Radio 1210.
You have key decisions to make about your money. Most investors don't beat the market, and neither do the hedge funds, who take a share of your profits. What if there was another way? A way for you to keep total control over your money where the interests were aligned. That's what the exclusive crash-proof retirement system is all about.
Mike Bisaccia from Logan Township, New Jersey. You can't follow the market because nobody can predict it. What you have today could be gone tomorrow. That's the way it works, up and down, and your money goes up and down. That's what led me to see if there was another alternative. Crash-proof retirement gave me that alternative. With crash-proof retirement, the money you make is credited to your account, and that money's yours. No ifs, ands, or buts, no worries, no fees. We had a high point of 13.5%. Once it's credited, it's your money to keep. That's a big deal.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at the William Penn Inn, September 17th. 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
I am Judith Krupnik, president of Cherry Hill Volvo. I drive an absolutely fabulous XC90 hybrid, the best of both electric and internal combustion. It's really an incredible Volvo. We are offering a $15,000 discount when leasing any 2024 XC90 hybrid in stock. If ever an XC90 was on your list, now is the time to visit Cherry Hill Volvo. $15,000.
With NJ Diet, you can lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days. They have customers that have lost 37 pounds, 100 pounds, and over 120 pounds, and they've kept it off. You'll have more energy, and you'll probably see better lab results. NJ Diet uses your hair, saliva, and blood work to provide you personalized natural formulas and supplements so you can lose the weight, and DNA testing will help you keep it off. Lose 20 to 40 plus pounds in only 40 days, contractually guaranteed. Go to njdiet.com.
Hi, this is Joe Mederchik, PNC Bank Regional President. People ask us, is PNC just a boring bank? Well, that depends. Is starting a business boring, or being the first person in your family to go to college? For nearly 160 years, we've done the hard and occasionally boring work of banking to deliver brilliant results to our clients. To see what boring banking can do for you, stop into any of our local branches right here in the greater Philadelphia community. PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. PNC Bank, National Association, member FDIC.
Summer is here, which means pool days, beach trips, and yeah, you guessed it, traffic jams. Oh yeah, and heat waves. Don't let summer catch you by surprise. Get the local news you need, no matter what you're up to, with the free Odyssey app. And never miss a beat with alerts on breaking stories sent directly to your phone. Listen today on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
Free speech lives here on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Where has all the money gone?
Show me the money.
That's right. Let's hear the clue. We want to know what language you're hearing Stevie Wonder in.
Låt musiken få liv. Låt det bubbla fram en sång, just det man känner. Låt musiken få liv. Låt det toner som du har innan det blir vänner.
All right, let's go to Bob in one of my favorite spots, Newtown Square. Bob, afternoon. What language is that?
Good afternoon. I believe it may be Finnish.
Close. You see, Dan
Bob.
is devilish. Because when he gives you something like this, it's a pretty close call
Yes.
with certain countries.
That's why I go a lot to these countries. But
Yeah, I know you
especially
do.
with the clue, the elk
Yeah.
and the moose. Great guess there.
Yeah. You want to give another clue or no?
No, not yet. Let's give one more, and then I'll give that big
Nancy,
clue.
Nancy and Winmore. Hey, Nance. Afternoon. What language is that? Nancy? I guess she was saying Finnish, too. What is it with
Oh,
the
no.
Oh, go ahead,
Hello,
Nancy.
hello, Sweden?
Yes! Nicely played.
Oh, thank you. Oh, my God. I had my button on mute.
Oh, okay. Glad we got you. Enjoy Burger King, Nancy. I'll
Oh,
put
my
you on
goodness.
hold. Glad you got it. We love it when we do that. By the way, great Swedish actress Inger Stevens would be a possible winner today. We're looking for all kinds of Steves, and all the rest of it. One reminder, too, about Burger King. What a great week it's been. But can you handle the heat? Because Burger King is serving up bold flavor, spice this summer with the all-new fiery menu featuring the fiery bacon Whopper, fiery chicken fries, fiery strawberry and Sprite made with fiery strawberry puree, and more for a limited time in participating U.S. restaurants. It's a fiery take on your favorites with spice levels from mild to wild, so that everyone can have it their way. One little language thing here, Dan. Had to cancel a routine doctor appointment, and it was in a different office in the suburbs, in fact, in Huntington Valley. And it said on the phone there, no one was there at the point, press 1 if you want English. How annoying. And he's saying, it's usually Spanish, right? Press 2 if you want the message in Russian.
What?
Yes.
Hey.
I had the tape. That's the first time ever.
Did you press Russian?
Yeah, well, I wonder if Putin is seeing the foot doctor. You know, Putin, a little trouble, Russian. There you go. I want to know if vodka will be served in the waiting room there.
Do Russians have bad feet?
I don't know, but I've never heard that before. I don't know there's a big Russian community out there.
Maybe.
I was very surprised. Things like that I always write down.
Can we get a check on the Twitter poll, Dom?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it must mean you're gaining. So the Twitter poll at Dom Show 1210. Get in now. Help me out with a win here before the weekend is what?
28 minutes left on the poll at Dom Show 1210. Is a movie on the first date a good idea? Dom, 59 votes in. 49.2% say yes. 50.8% say no. It's a bad idea.
Yeah, right. I think the ballot box has been loaded. It's a drop box. They're dropping stuff off there. All right. We can't stand this as we head into a weekend here on a Friday. Come on. It's a good idea on the first date. I'm not saying Tora like the one guy. And Guy Shiraki, people are saying, no, I could see Guy going to witness. That was a solid choice. He went over it, etc. All right, the crowd I'm watching in Raleigh is eagerly waiting. You know what this reminds me of, Dan? We're going to hear, and we'll have sound of this on Monday. I remember when President Obama, on the back of Elizabeth Warren, went to Roanoke, Virginia. He was running against Romney, a stiff, albeit, but Romney was holding his own. And Obama said, you didn't build that. You didn't build that. You know, we built those roads. We built those great public schools. Excuse me? What public school? Were we in Philadelphia here? Elizabeth Warren said the same thing. And then at the end, she said, so keep a big chunk of it, but give some of it to us. This is their attitude. It's the same thing here of what Harris is laying out today.
There is nobody in this country who got rich on his own.
Oh, my God. You know, it's
You didn't build that.
It's the money, it's taxation. But when Obama said that, my resentment, it's the same resentment I had with this clown Bashir, who was the governor of Kentucky, trying to undercut J.D. Vance, his cultural background, his story, the pain he went through. You're not Hill Country. And it's a daddy's boy who got a big law firm, and the daddy was a governor, so he's governor now. You know, this type of stuff. That's what they're going for. But we know that Vice President Harris worked at McDonald's at one point. I'd like to check that out, how long, et cetera, but there we go. So we'll see today, though, a similar sort of appeal here. There's somebody out there, and the question maybe we should have started off with this. In the debate or this with Harris, this whole appeal, rather than defending corporations or arguing the minutia of this, which you can do, why post-COVID, let's say 21 into 22, something like that, the Biden, or into 23, you're the top prosecutor. You're saying all this stuff today. Why was that not proposed then to put a chill into corporate America to stop them from raising these obnoxious purchases? Why not do it then? Why was nothing done then? All right. So, Dan, I think Kamala Harris is there. We'll jump in. I thought it was 2:45. Boy, I give her credit that she's actually early. That must mean she has a lot of nonsense to do today. She is finally going to give us a proposal, which apparently is to tax us a whole lot more.
Please have a seat. Mike D, so Mike D's Barbecue, let me tell you one of the biggest fans of Mike D's Barbecue. My husband dug him off.
Not Walt's? It's not Walt's?
No.
And thank you, Mike, for sharing.
He likes white guy
story.
barbecue.
That's right, tacos.
I'm just so sorry.
Maybe we should take a break, then we'll get back to the actual economic plan after the cackle is gone. 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. We'll play you more and take your calls coming up. Football is approaching. Great time to get in on the action early this season. Futures bets, big with FanDuel. Tons of different player props, passing yards, TDs, rushing, receiving titles. Great team markets, too, like the Eagles. Yeah, they're going to make the playoffs. Come on. Win the division? Probably. Super Bowl? Yeah, that's a good one. A lot there that you can parlay, meaning different picks for even bigger payouts. And right now, new customers, you can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. There's no better place to get ready for the football season than on FanDuel. In partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook and official sports betting partner of the NFL. Just visit FanDuel.com/DOM, D-O-M, to sign up today. FanDuel is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. First online, real money wager, only $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
Weather sponsored by Express Employment Professionals.
71 overnight with some clouds. Rain moving in at some point on Saturday with a high of 83. Thunderstorms expected on Sunday, 82 the high. Monday, more rain possible with a high of 84. And on Tuesday, we're only going to get up to 75.
If your supply chain demands a flexible workforce, hire with Express Employment Professionals. With contract and full-time workers from Express Employment, you get the staff you need and manage contingent labor costs. Learn more at expresspros.com. That's expresspros.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. And one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. We all love summer, right? But the beach isn't just for summer. In fact, the beach, and in particular the Cape May beach, is just beautiful in the fall. If you haven't been to Cape May in the fall, you're missing out, and you should book your stay at the Grand Hotel of Cape May for a September to remember. The Grand offers special midweek packages so you can enjoy the beach without breaking the bank. Stay 2 nights and save 10%. Stay 3 nights, get 10% off and $55 a night in resort credits. Stay 5 nights, you're going to get 10% off and $65 a night in resort credits, and they can be used at Hemingway's for food and drink, the gift shop, and so much more. The Grand offers guest rooms, suites, and townhomes equipped with a kitchenette, and they have 2 huge heated pools, 1 outdoor and 1 indoor. I'm telling you, the Grand is my happy place, and you will not be disappointed. Book directly with them for the best rates. Book your stay today at 800-257-8550 or visit them online at grandhotelcapemay.com. And our next live show is Friday, September 6th. So book your stay today, grandhotelcapemay.com.
Offer not valid in all states or prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Great. Maxed out cards, rent is due, bills are piling up. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
We should do what my brother did. He went to GetCash.com and got $3,000.
With our bad credit?
GetCash.com is different. They're one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000.
I'm sure there's a lot of paperwork.
Nope. My brother said it was fast and easy. He did it right from his phone.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan of up to $5,000 in minutes, and your cash can hit your bank account as soon as the next day. Our lenders have millions of dollars to lend regardless of your credit history.
Great news! I went to GetCash.com and we'll have our money as soon as tomorrow.
Wow, that is fast.
If you need extra cash, go to GetCash.com. That's GetCash.com. GetCash.com.
For eligible individuals, 18 and older only. Results vary. See website for details and important safety information.
How are your hearing aids sounding now?
A little tinny.
Okay, 2 seconds.
With Jabra Enhanced Selects Premium Package, better hearing doesn't happen in a doctor's office. It happens at home, all done remotely from initial testing to adjustments.
How are they sounding now?
Fantastic. So much better. You get the same advanced hearing aid technology and professional support you expect from a clinic at a fraction of the cost. And if you have any issues, we'll make adjustments 7 days a week, no charge. Oh, you people are wonderful. Our premium package includes hearing aids, 3 years of follow-up care, plus a 3-year warranty with loss and damage coverage, and a 100-day money-back guarantee. I hear better than I ever thought possible. Save $300 on Enhanced Select 500 hearing aids automatically at checkout. Just go to JabraEnhance.com/try. That's JABRA Enhance.com/try. JabraEnhance.com/try.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, it is downtime. We haven't gotten to the attacks on corporate America yet, but so far with Vice President Harris, we're about the future. It's an opportunity economy. Costs are still too high. Well, who's been in charge here? All right, let's dip in a little bit, then we'll take more of your calls.
As president, I will be laser focused on creating opportunities for the middle class that advance their economic security, stability, and dignity. Together, we will build what I call an opportunity economy.
Oh, God.
An opportunity economy. An economy where everyone can compete and have a real chance to succeed. Everyone, regardless of who they are or where they start, has an opportunity to build wealth for themselves.
Sounds like
and
America
their
to
children.
me.
And where we remove the barriers to opportunity so anyone who wants to start a business or advance their career can access the tools and the resources that are
More
necessary
government.
to do so.
Okay, let's stop right there. So your whole party, the whole deal is based on, and I've said this many times, the Republican Party has to say, we are the party of convenience, up and down the line. Convenience, no red tape, getting out of the way, staying out of the way. They're not. They're the party of regulation, which ties this stuff up continuously. Let's hear a little of the grocery store now.
I will focus on cutting needless bureaucracy and unnecessary regulatory red tape. And encouraging...
The crowd likes red tape. They're Democrats.
And encouraging innovative technologies while protecting consumers. And creating a stable business environment with consistent and transparent rules of the road. As president, I will bring together labor with small businesses and major companies to invest in America, to create good jobs, achieve broad-based growth, and ensure that America continues to define the future and lead the world.
All right. Well, you don't fully believe in traditional America when we did that. The other thing is, Dan here, she uttered the phrase rules of the road. You're going to hear that, I predict, throughout this speech. That means more government telling you what you can charge and what's over the line, etc. I just see the angle of attack here. Why is it this was not proposed when you believed that corporate America was gouging? When the price gouging was happening, when did that happen? What did you do about it? You're the prosecutor. You're talking about it today. Was it that the Biden administration wouldn't let you do it? All right, we're looking for an all-time Steve or Stevens here. This is a big deal today that she's finloeven though we're getting the boilerplate now.
She's now delving into the specificities of groceries.
Okay, let's hear that.
A loaf of bread costs 50% more today than it did before the pandemic. Ground beef is up almost 50%. Many of the big food companies are seeing their highest profits in 2 decades. And while many grocery chains pass along these savings, others still aren't. Look, I know most businesses are creating jobs, contributing to our economy, and playing by the rules.
What rules?
But some are not. And that's just not right. And we need to take action when that is the case.
Why not do it now?
Yeah, why not have done it before? Did it just occur to you? Do it right now. Take the action now. Show us now so we can vote on this.
As Attorney General in California, I went after companies that illegally increased prices, including wholesalers that inflated the price of prescription medication, and companies that conspired with competitors to keep prices of electronics high.
Panasonic again.
I won
Here
more
we
than
go.
$1 billion for consumers.
It was $500 million. I researched it.
I like this Mystery Science Theater 3000 version
So
of Kamala's
believe me,
speeches.
as president, I will go after the bad actors.
Tell us who they are now. Tell us who the bad actors are.
Go at it, Kamala.
Tell us who they are.
And I will work to pass the first ever federal ban on price gauging on food.
Price gauging? What's a price gauge?
My plan will include new penalties for opportunistic companies that exploit crises and break the rules, and we will support smaller food businesses that are trying to play by the rules and get ahead.
She hire that person that's doing all this comment?
The enemy, the enemy of small business.
The food industry become more competitive, because I believe competition is the lifeblood of our economy.
Oh,
more competition means lower prices for you and your families.
These Democrats are not liking some of this stuff for some reason.
Yeah, a little
what
tepid in
Donald
the
Trump
applause.
plans to do.
Oh, here we go.
He wants to impose what is, in effect, a national sales tax on everyday products and basic necessities that we import from other countries. That will devastate Americans. It will mean higher prices on just about every one of your daily needs.
Making that up.
A Trump tax on gas. A Trump tax on food.
Wow, what a deflection for the inflation that you caused, Kamala.
On clothing. A Trump tax on over-the-counter medication. And you know, economists have done the math. Donald Trump's plan would cost a typical family $3,900 a year.
That's chump change versus what you've cost.
Right.
At this moment, when everyday
She clearly
prices
doesn't know if terror
are
is worth
too
either.
high, he will make them even higher. As president, I'll take on the issue of the cost of health care. As Attorney General, I took on insurance companies.
Okay, we're
and
back
big pharma
reverting. Yes, thank you,
and
Dan.
got them to lower their prices.
Yeah, I was interested in the groceries. This is a very tepid audience here, though. Maybe there's hope. Not only that, Dan, can you save that line there about the small business part? It was just a little while ago. Just save it. I want to play it on Monday. Here's the reason why. By any instinct that I have, in the polling that I've seen, if Harris and the Democrats are the champion of small business versus the big corporate interest, why is it a matter of fact, I believe, that the average small business person is Republican/conservative, not a Democrat? By and large, the numbers would bear me out. Why is that if they're the champion of the small business person? In fact, they are deadly to small businesses because of regulation, DEI components, all kinds of things that small business, in fact, Obama, you didn't build that. Warren, what about the roads we built for you? What about the great public schools? All right, so coming up, we'll have the lightning round. We'll get a winner for this week. It's been fabulous, some of the answers today. Side question today. Apropos, if Dan was playing a lot of Stevie Nicks and Stevens this week, last name of Steven, anything with Steve in it. First name, female, Stefan, Stephanie, all them in play. Hit us with your best and quickly tell us why. Lightning round next here on Talk Radio 1210.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that team is Dr. Molly Fantasia and the medical staff at Innovative Medical Associates. Yes, cancer is a scary word and a difficult condition if you've been diagnosed. Over the years, the staff at Innovative Medical Associates has helped hundreds of patients with their unique medical hydration protocols. Cancer support is a large part of the practice at Innovative Medical Associates.
We believe in medical hydration. We've improved it so much that we are able to help people across the board with challenges before they become chronic.
Talk about improving your quality of life. Most likely, that'll happen when you visit Innovative Medical Associates. Check them out on the web at innovativemedicalassociates.com or call 856-489-0505 to schedule your initial complimentary consultation.
Family and Company Jewelers on Route 70 in Marlton, New Jersey is known for being South Jersey's diamond destination and your trusted jeweler for quality, service, and price. Choose from the largest selection of engagement rings in the area or have their master jewelers create a one-of-a-kind ring just for your special day. Visit their showroom or shop online at familyjewelers.com.
Family and Company Jewelers, South Jersey's diamond destination.
Don't miss our end of summer savings spectacular at Hessert Chevrolet. Get amazing deals on top Chevy models like Silverado and Equinox EV. Now's the perfect time to upgrade. Drive home a 2024 Silverado 1500 LT at 1.9% APR or a 2024 Equinox EV at 0.9% APR. See dealer for details. These offers won't last. Visit Hessert Chevrolet today or check us out at HessertChevy.com. Call 267-343-9094 for full details.
Your way or no way at Hessert Chevrolet.
No one is happy to discover that the air conditioner is broken, and it always breaks on the hottest day of the summer in the middle of the night. That's why so many homeowners have Oliver's Peace of Mind membership. For as little as $13 a month, Oliver maintains your home's cooling, heating, plumbing, and electrical systems all year long. Membership also includes annual inspections, exclusive discounts on repairs and replacements, and priority emergency service. Call Oliver today or visit us online at oliverheatcool.com.
Jim Cipriotti at Retire Ready Financial Group doesn't need Google to know you're worried about retirement. Between inflation, rising taxes, and the uncertainty about Social Security, he understands. That's why he offers a complimentary retirement second opinion. It's a no-obligation meeting for you to talk about your concerns about retirement. You want to know if you're going to be okay? Let's find out. 610-894-7415 or go online, retirereadyfg.com.
Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, NPN number 2083768.
What if I told you your home movies are already past their prime? It's true. The magnetic tape used in VHS and camcorder tapes only lasts between 10 to 20 years, which means your baby's first steps, weddings, and family vacations are fading away as we speak. Digitizing your old media with Legacy Box stops this fading process in its tracks. And by preserving your recordings, they're safe forever. Legacy Box is simply the best way to preserve your past, which is why they've been trusted by over 1 million families. Your memories are meant to be shared, not chewed up by the VCR or worn away with time. For a limited time, you can convert your tapes to digital for just $9 a tape. There's never been a better time to convert your entire collection. That includes film reels and photos too. Visit legacybox.com/value to get our $9 sale. That's legacybox.com/value to unlock our $9 offer. legacybox.com/value.
Hey, Clementon. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. WPHT.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
That is right, and Dom's Lightning Round, sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo. Right now, lease the incredibly stylish and fun-to-drive C40 for 36 months for less than $500 per month for qualified buyers. They always go the extra mile for their customers at Cherry Hill Volvo.
Dom, just want to give an update real quick. 5 minutes left on the fire poll from today at Dom Show 1210. And is a movie on the first date a good idea? Where do you think it currently sits, Dom?
50-50 still.
Exactly. 50-50, right on the dot. So get your votes in 5 minutes left and make me the winner. No, it's not a good idea on the first date.
Stuff that ballot box. I don't care now. The Philadelphia's coming out of me. Get in there, whether you're qualified or not.
At Dom Show 1210.
I don't
5
care
minutes.
if you're in Russia voting. Get in there right now. Try my Russian here.
4 minutes left.
4 minutes left. Get in there. All right, let's go to Gary in Newtown. Gary, who's your Steve?
Hey, Dom, I'm going to split the thing. I'm going to say that going to a movie is not a good idea, but it was a great idea for me about 20 years ago because you can figure out how the rest of the night went. How's that?
Ah, yes, that's pretty good. All right. I can't choose my vote, yes.
My favorite, Steve, you don't have any girls. Hopefully Dan does when he has children. But I was about 30 years old when I started to cry while watching Steve Martin as father of the bride, and I couldn't figure out what was going on, but I was crying because I had my daughter sitting next to me who was about 1.
Very nice, very impactful. Yeah, Steve Martin ought to do Walls. He could do a good Walls.
Yeah, they're talking about it for SNL.
Yeah, he said he won't do it. What a shame. That guy. All right, Tom I always love saying this, Percy. Hey, Tom, who's your Steve?
Hey, let me give you a quick sound effect first. And as we're rebuilding, gentlemen, we have the technology. The $6 million man, Steve Austin.
Yes. Dan, a little.
That's where you went. I thought you were going.
A little inside talk radio thing. One host, no longer in the business and all, attacked another host on the station, calling him the $6 million man because I think he had some kind of vision thing done or whatever. But then he actually said that my hair was a hairpiece. That was it. There was big trouble after that. Oh, there was trouble after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you off air who that was.
You know, I saw Steve Austin on the board. I thought he was talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's what I thought he was going with, too.
Not the $6 million man.
But. Let's go to this guy playing to the crowd with this one. Let's go to the Earl of Tacony. Earl, who's yours?
Real quick, with monopolies and price gouging, Microsoft does that. It used to be that you could buy and own a copy of Microsoft Office. Now you have to pay rent in order to use it. Not only that, I used to have an XP computer up until last year. I had to get a new computer because Microsoft turned off all of my Office software. And it's like, well, I can go to another company like Adobe. Adobe did the same thing. They turned off all those software to force you to buy other programs.
Well, Earl, would they dare go after Ticketmaster and, even worse, go after the NFL? That's a pretty big monopoly.
Well, it depends if they can get competition. It's like Coke and Pepsi are two monopolies, even though monopoly means one. But there are other companies that sell soda that you have a choice where you can actually, say, go to hell. I'm not going to pay your prices. I'm going to go to someone else that makes the same product. But if you have a product where they're the only game in town, they can do whatever they want. That's why they get away with it, because they're the only game in town.
Gotcha. Who's your Steven?
We talk about him every Christmas. It's from Good King Wenceslas looked down on the feast of Stephen, who was the first Christian martyr. He was stoned to death December 26th in the year 36.
Gotcha. Leslie, I only have, regrettably, about 20 seconds. You got to tell me you're Stephen, Leslie.
It's Thaddeus Stevens. He was a radical Republican who relentlessly fought against slavery and authored the 13th Amendment.
Go see Lincoln. Tommy Lee Jones, great in that film. You're right, Leslie. Thank you. All right, Dan.
Couple stand out today. Grant and Gloucester, Steve Carlton with the local ties. Gary Newtown with Steve Martin, who had a political tie with the wall suggestion, too. But, Dom, I think the one that stands out today is probably the first one out of the box. Jeff in Audubon, who was put on the spot and blurted out Steven Spielberg, who is probably one of the most famous Stevens out there.
Let's go with that. Put him in the hat. Shake him up here.
1 sec, Dom. Let me get my music going here. A little slow. And we have all our winners of the week. Monday. We asked, what's a memorable scene involving a mobster, gangster, thug, or outlaw? Leslie and Bryn Mawr took the day with the Pulp Fiction cheeseburger scene. Tuesday, who's a real-life person who'd make for a great cartoon character? Earl Anticoni, Robert De Niro, Patton Oswalt in a very political type cartoon. Wednesday, what's something that's still masculine in 2024? Joe and X and fantastic answer, bullfighter. A matador. Great reasoning behind it. Thursday, who's somebody who revolutionized the field? What's the field? Lori and Ringo's Lewis Carrier in air conditioning, saying we wouldn't have Florida or Arizona without him. Friday, you just heard it, who's a notable Steve and Stevie. Steven Spielberg from Jeff and Audubon. Dom, I got dice in my hand from Earl Tacone. I'm going to roll the dice. I got a 6. Got to roll it again. It doesn't work. Doesn't work that way.
It's a Democrat, yeah.
Number 1, my second one, which means Monday. Leslie and Bryn Mawr takes a dual pass pair of tickets to Battleship, New Jersey. Leslie and Bryn Mawr, congratulations.
All right, pair of tickets to the Battleship, New Jersey in Camden, New Jersey. For more information, visit battleshipnewjersey.org. What happened in the poll?
So it is now closed, and that's why I'm a little struggling here, but I'm very excited to say movie on a first date. Is that a good idea, movie first date? 52.4% say no, Dom. 52.4% no, it's not a good idea, so I am correct once again.
There is no hope for the country. What a way to go into the weekend. Roe's going to have to call in the show on Monday and straighten that out. And on Monday, boy, there's a tremendous amount of fodder coming off Kamala Harris in this. And again, media is not going to have a chance to push back in an interview or anything else. We're just chugging toward the debate. That's the way to go. And I kind of like the ploy of Tulsi Gabbard being an advisor, getting ahead of Kamala Harris. I can imagine the conversations there. You know, hey, can I tag Tulsi in for this next question Trump should ask after she did so well before? Hey, thanks to Dan and Jim for this week producing. Great stuff. One reminder, too. We've been telling you about the Don Trump Jr. event. Now's the time to strike to get your tickets because Talk Radio 1210 has a big discount on those tickets. You get your reserve seat, you get the book, and a big night with Don Trump Jr. on September 12th. All you have to do is go to 1210 WPHT's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, any of those, or 1210WPHT.com for this special flash sale on tickets to Politics and Pints with Donald Trump Jr. Thursday, September 12th at the Great Scottish Rite Auditorium in Collingswood, New Jersey. Going to be a lot of people there. I may have to introduce them like they do at heavyweight fights, Dan. All the glitter area that will be there. And Don Trump Jr., just think of the build-up, just right after the debate with Kamala Harris. I think if we wind him up, I might have to stop to get a word in edgewise. Get your tickets now. Dan, what's on the agenda for the weekend?
Tomorrow, Don, the big money league. We're having our fantasy draft.
Okay.
Fantasy football. You playing fantasy this year?
No.
No?
I think it's a get-a-lifer thing still. It's a get-a-lifer. I'll tell you what's on my agenda. Roe has no Gettysburg or New York trip set up, thank God, this weekend.
Relax this weekend?
Yeah, a little bit of relaxation this
very
weekend.
Nice. Enjoy it.
Golfing on the docket. So we'll come back ready to go on Monday.
Yourself, watch that arm, man.
That's right. Not the right arm. Not the right arm. All right, I'll give you an update on that, too. Mike Opelka's next, sitting in for Rich on Talk Radio 1210.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
When it comes to your home, trust is everything. For 45 years, Kitchen Magic has built a reputation for transforming kitchens with precision and care. From custom cabinets to countertops, backsplashes to storage solutions. And we get the job done fast. In just a few days, your dream kitchen becomes a reality without the hassle. So trust the name your neighbors have relied on for decades. Kitchen Magic. Get your free in-home consultation at kitchenmagic.com and let's cook up something extraordinary.
Now, your Live Nation lineup.
Don't miss these upcoming shows.
See James Taylor and his all-star band at The Man August 30th. See Camille Nanjiani at the Fillmore Philadelphia September 21st. Plus, check out Ringo Starr and his all-star band at The Man September 24th. And see Jim Gaffigan at the Met Philadelphia presented by Highmark December 12th through the 14th.